Oh, there it is, right? Live? That's what it says. It
Tell me.
says it says live on it, so I do believe that we are good right now.
Holy moly.
Are you good? Yep, it's switching to you. It's switching to me. All right. But let me go over to the chat room. Let's see if we can get some people over here right now and stuff. Let me share this a little bit real quick. Let me pause the video real quick. All right. So let me share this. We got the Lord of Last Hearth is up in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Let me share this. This is gonna be your show, AU. It's on my channel. You're gonna take the lead on it. I'm just gonna sit back. All right, let me share it there. Let me share it again with my Google people real quick. Make sure. Can you ask the chat real quick if they can hear us? I guess they can. I guess they could hear me if I said that. Huh? Let me share one more time. Are they good to chat? Can they hear this right now? Hey you? Uh-oh. Hey you, where'd you go?
TB says no
Right?
sound, but I think Tony from Lord of the Last Hearth is okay, loud and clear. Jonathan Haymaker.
All right, I'm hearing live and clear. Yep, 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 yep. Everyone can hear me right there. All right, people can hear me. Hey you?
Nice.
I can hear you. They can hear you. Let's say I hear you, not AU. We can hear both of you. Great area. Just playing. Are you playing games with me, girl? Don't play with me like that. I can hear both of you. All right. They are here. People can hear me. All right. They can hear AU right now. What's the deal, my people? You know what it is. Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you. Another one. And this one is day 30 on AU Packmule's live stream. And from now on, I am not going to be the host of this show. This is AU Packmule on Teflon TV. This is going to be his show. So AU Packmule, please take it over from here.
This is a day of first, so I am just so excited because not only did Tony get to come on my channel and try to do a live stream, but now I get to be on his channel, and that's even more epic. So yeah, he's got the IV drip going on in the background, and we're gonna break down some Game of Thrones. So I'm pretty excited. This is pretty fun.
No doubt, no doubt. So keep going, man. It's all up to you.
So before we get too into the video, I need to let you know this video is brought to you by Polygrip. Thanks to it's being sponsored, by the way, also by Alka-Seltzer, and then also we have Vaseline, and then and you guys know what that's for, and then Gold Bond Powder, and that's all brought to you by Don the Kraken Wit. So thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
That's
Anyways.
jailhouse shit going on. That's some jailhouse medicine shit going here right now. Dying to crack it, what's going in there. I don't know how to there, but that's what it seems like to me.
Mr. Freaky. Yep. So basically, I really wanted to have you on the live stream. We've been doing interviews on a bunch of different YouTubers, and I know I watch you all the time doing your live stream, and you're like, hey, AU, what's the deal with having a live stream without me? You got to include the Don. So I'm glad that we were able to have you on and interview you, and I just am so grateful for the time. And as I said on my channel, if you didn't hear it over there, there's a description on my channel for Don Tony's GoFundMe page for the GoFundMe. And so as I said to him on the other channel, I'll be donating $200 to that to get that kick started. Woo! And hopefully you might even get more coming on this
I really do
chat. So
if that's gonna happen. So yes, I have a GoFundMe, people, and that is for me get the Don to the con coming up, the Con of Thrones. They have asked me to be on 5 different panels. But as I said in that thing, right now the Don has put his money in the business. So I started my own business. All my money is on there. So anything that anyone can send to me to help me out there will just go to offset some of the costs. Because if I knew that they were going to invite me, I would have put some money aside for that. But you know, you got to take a chance in life. You know what I mean? I've worked for people my whole life and everything else, and I always wanted this. I had this idea for a little while, so I said, fuck it. I got the dough right now in my savings. Why not believe in yourself and do it? That is the reason why I did it. Hopefully it turns out good, you know what I mean, and everything else. But that's the only reason why I'd be asking for that. Normally I would not be asking for anything for anybody. So if you're going to donate to me, please don't do it in the super chat right here. Please go to GoFundMe. Anything you would put in the super chat, whether it's $1, $5, 50 cents, put that in the GoFundMe. It helps me out much more. You know what I mean? I really would appreciate that. So
don't be putting 50 cent. No.
50 cent. You know what I mean?
No.
You gotta put 50 cent, put 50 cent in there. I take it. You know what I mean?
Up.
So good. And you know what I mean? Thank you, AU Packmule, for donating $200. I really do appreciate that. It really means the world to me. Now, as I said, this is AU Packmule's show, so I'm going to sit back and let him do this interview.
So my first question was actually in regards to this last video you did. We just got to see this longer preview of the costume design process, and that's always been one of the draws to Game of Thrones TV show, and we can imagine the stuff reading the books, and most of the questions today are going to be book questions. But I just wanted to comment on that last video you did. Not only were you able to see all the great stuff, but you were able to pull out a theory that I thought was pretty impactful to the show, because we're talking about one of the main characters, Littlefinger.
Yeah. Well, so what I took from that thing, and I you know, Tony Teflon, I like clothes, I love dressing, so I like the way they show that, and they're willing to show that. You know what I mean? Because I love it. I love it. Appreciate it. You know what I mean? I appreciate all of it. You know what I'm saying? So the work that goes to it, the craftsmanship, all that stuff that goes into it, I really do appreciate it. You know what I mean? And I don't mind those German suits with the girls, the girls with the big boobs, and they be wearing them German things and holding 2 beers in their hand. You know what I mean? I like that type stuff. So I don't mind those costumes. You can put it on me, girl. Put them costumes on me. But from that, when I looked at it, I just felt like they focused a little bit too much on Littlefinger. You know what I mean? Because Littlefinger, to me, he's not a really major character. And for a featurette, right? And especially for the things he wears. There's nothing that he wears that is special, that it needs to be featured. Everything he wears is very plain. So why would they focus on Littlefinger in there? And then the last scene that they show is of Littlefinger's costume. To me, that just shows that Littlefinger's out of here this year. No doubt about it. And no doubt about that he is definitely going to die this year. And that was my take. Now, I've seen a couple other YouTubers talking Thrones. I do believe Kyle fucking Chickens, they have all seen the same exact thing that I've seen too, and that is that Cersei Lannister has got the Sand Snakes captured in that picture. It's a very fast scene. When you take a look at it, you barely can see it, but if you look, you could see that Alara's on a chain by herself, and you can see Cersei's got one of them on a leash, bending them to the knees and stuff. And I do believe that's a smaller one. I think that's bad pussy on the knees, right?
Oh, yeah, that was great. I totally agree. One of the things that I really enjoy is there's a character in the TV show and in the books, but he makes all the weapons, and his name is Tommy Dunn on the TV show. He was one of the guys that cut John's hair in the first episode when they were getting ready for the feast. Mm-hmm. And when he does videos like that, it just really gets me excited. So yeah, thanks again for coming on, and everybody that's in the chat watching, thanks very much for being here. I appreciate you being able to move over to Tony's channel and getting this done.
No doubt about it, man. So thank you for all the people in chat. I see JD the Dragon. I see my man Mo Genie. Mo Genie, you better get at me, chicken. You better get at me. Jesus, you know what I'm talking about, goddammit. I see my girl Renee M. I see the Lord of the Last Hearth up there. You know what I mean? I seen the gray areas in the building. We got superstars in the building. The gray area in the building. Jesus Christ. That's the way we doing it this way. You know what I mean? But thank you all for being able to join us here Teflon TV. This is AU Packmule's 30th stream for 30-day stream, and we are doing it here. You know what I mean? So it is all good right now.
So the other question I wanted to ask you, and this is like a precursor to some of the other stuff, but and also great channels. BarTube just released a video about 2 weeks ago about Broke My Heart, and this has happened to you too. So I know you can experience or tell us what she's experiencing, and it might have to do with just expectations of what YouTube does for your life. And this goes beyond Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire. So just wanted to ask you what your initial feelings were when you saw that, and then have you been able to get in touch with her and
Yeah, I haven't spoken to her. I can speak to her, but I've just been very busy. As you can see, Tony Teflon is not in the normal spot where I'm at. I have just moved. So I was able to get the bar out of storage, and now I'm in a bigger place. And now I got the whole background set up the way I wanted it set up from the initial start. But I said the other place I was living was too small, so I had to put stuff in storage. But now I got it out of storage, and I'm good to go. I will have this thing looking better in a little bit. I have the picture of the wall. It's there if you can see it. But I have to hang it up. You know what I mean? That's always going to be a staple with Tony Teflon's saying that always will see that there, that painting. So, Bar is my friend, you know what I mean? That, like when I deal with YouTubers, or talk to a lot of YouTubers, and that's the thing about like when you talk to people on YouTube a lot, it's like experience when I went to a Song of Ice and Fire, the con over there in Virginia. When you meet people, it's like you already know them. Like when I met Donna Krakenwit and I met Alicia Kingston, when I was talking to him, I felt like I've been talking to him for years because it's no gray area. No pun intended at all. It's just like you just know them already. You know what I mean? But Bob personally, I have talked to about a lot of things in my family life, a lot of things I was going through with my daughters and stuff, and she's given me a lot of advice. So I love Bar. Like she is my truly, truly good friend. To hear her say she wants to take her channel down, now people got to understand that Bar is really a shy person in real life. She's really not that type of person to go out in front of a camera at all. So just for her to be able to do that in the beginning, to do it, it took a lot for her to do that. I understand, like I said before, and me personally, you know what I mean? I lost a lot of friends last year. I lost 6 people. And when I lost those people and I started doing my videos, and I'm looking at my videos, I'm looking at the numbers I'm getting from the videos, I'm looking at other people's channels, the numbers they're getting from their videos, I'm looking at the mortality of life, 6 people in 1 year dying like that, and you start asking yourself, am I spending my time correctly? Is there something better I could be doing? Are people appreciate what I'm doing? And certain things like that happen and things like that. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going on with Bar. I haven't spoken to her. I'm just giving my opinion real quick. But when things happen like that, comments and trolls and things like, you just get to the point where you're like, why am I doing this? Why am I wasting my time? I have other things I could be doing. I could be making money. I could be doing this. And that's it. And it stops becoming fun. And I think a lot of the funness went away from Bar because in the beginning, when you do it, you start talking to people and everything else, it's just for fun. But then when you reach a certain point of subscribers and you start putting a certain amount of time in it, it becomes a business.
Right.
So you have to ask yourself, is it still fun that now that it's a business? And is it worth my time and effort now that it's a business? I think that's probably the issue she was dealing with in the end with that, you know, and that's probably why she had to do what she had to do. I don't know if a channel is down. I hope it's not. I tried to tell her leave it up. Just at least leave it for the video content that she has on there, so we can all go back and look at it.
Yeah, I watched it again yesterday, so I know it's. I know that video is at least up.
All right, yeah. So I asked her. That's the only time I got in contact with her. I told her leave the channel up, at least let people, you know, and then you can come back once in a while and just stream here and there. But I think that's what she really likes to do. She really liked the funness of it. And I think it just stopped becoming fun to her.
Yeah,
and that happens. And you know, I think a lot of YouTubers hit that spot, but they don't express it out there. You know what I mean? They don't put it in the public eye. But I think a lot of YouTubers go through that. I know I particularly have gone through it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you know, I love Bar. I hope she doesn't go because she's brilliant. She knows her shit. And you know, the TNB Q&A, even though I didn't get a lot of views in it, it was one of my favorite things I ever did. You know what I mean? I would hate not to be able to do that anymore.
Yeah, it's almost like seeing brother and sister talking together on screen, and and it's really strange to have that emotional connection, but you guys definitely did. And that's one of the reasons why I did the 30 days, because I wanted to connect with people that I loved watching and working with and commenting with, and getting a little bit deeper on what's going on in their life. And that comes through a lot with the live streams. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that you were able to do that.
Yeah, I think it's also, you know, it happens. I think if any YouTuber, no, like I've tried to start other channels and stuff like that, and you see the subs don't follow you.
Right.
They don't follow you, you know, and sometimes you might think that I'm gonna do this, so subs are gonna follow me over. I got 20,000 fans, so if I start a new channel, I'm gonna get at least 5,000. You get 200. You're like, what the fuck happened? Where's everybody? Where y'all go? What happened? You know, and that should be happening. Thank you, my man Jonathan Haymaker, right there. You know what I mean, for donating 2 beans to the Don Tony Teflon. You know what I mean. There must always be a Tony in Nashville. I agree. And anyone who wants to donate to me, I appreciate the super chat. But please try to hit me on the GoFundMe page with that, so I can get that dough up in there, so I can use that to get to Nashville and get to the con. 5 panels. I can tell you the panels I'm supposed to be on too. I know one is dealing with racism. I know that in the books, which obviously somebody's definitely dealing with that. Right?
You did a whole video on that, didn't you?
Yes, I did. 2 videos on it, you know. So I'm definitely not. I don't shy away from that topic. So I'll definitely do that. And I'm doing one with like a breaker of lies thing, people crackpot theories. So you know I'm gonna go in on people there. And supposedly I'm doing one on Stannis, and supposedly there's someone from the show that hates Stannis Baratheon and just talks shit about Stannis. So they purposely put me there, and I'm going to be sitting right next to this man. And I can't wait for him to run his mouth. Maybe he thinks that, I work for HBO. I could just say what I want. You can't say that shit in front of me, Jigga. That ain't gonna happen. You know, trust me, people. I do not shy away. I don't give a fuck if it was Anderson Cooper up in that motherfucker. If you try to get on Stannis' bad side, you're getting on my bad side. And I will argue with that motherfucker in front of everyone. You will see it go the fuck down. Trust me. That's why you got to get me to the con, because I'm going to bring the heat. I'm going to bring the fire. I'm not like these other people. It's not going to be the same run-of-the-mill stuff. You know, when I get down there, I'm bringing that motherfucker the same way I bring it when I'm on this channel. I don't shy away. Bring them motherfuckers. And there's 2 other panels I can't think of offhand, but other ones that I'm on there. But you know how it is. You know what's going to go down. You know what's going down.
I was wondering how long it was going to take before we got a Stannis rant.
Don't take that one from me at all. So it is what it is.
Don't worry, I'm not going to be going there. So we
T-Baby in the chat fucking me. You say something bad about Stannis, all of a sudden T-Baby pops up saying, "Hey, bitch!" Is T-Baby, bitch? Bitch! Cupcake!
That's all right. We were on Monero Geek TV, and all we had to do was say Stannis pink letter 3 times, and you were there, man.
Yes,
it was like,
ain't no doubt about it. You know, I watch it. I tell people I watch everybody's shit. Don't think I ain't watching. It's because I ain't typing. Don't mean I ain't watching. I be watching. I be laid up. You know what I mean? My feet up in the bed watching, because I watch all my YouTube stuff on my Roku box. So I watch it on my TV set.
Nice.
So anytime anybody is live streaming, I'm watching it on my TV, the 74-inch TV screen, just watching it on TV.
Sweet.
So then when people get out of line, I'm like, all right, let me open up the laptop and show them what it is, you know? And then that's when it happens, and that's when I come at that motherfucker.
Yeah, that was awesome. I thought you were going to do WWE style on anybody coming after you. Especially as much as I know you love T. So
I love her.
We all love her. And she trolls like the best. So
She does. She does. I got love for all of them, Monero, and that's why I can't get at Monero. Monero's my girl. You know what I mean? I can't get at him like I would get at a stranger. This dude from HBO is a stranger, so he gonna get it. He'll get the full blast. You know, listen, I'm prepared for everything. The only thing people are gonna say, he burnt his daughter. That's what you're gonna hear. You know what I mean? And it really isn't a defense for that. You know what I'm saying? But
no way.
That I don't see that there's a way for him to do it in the books. That's the only defense I have for it. And I do believe that it was purposely put like that in the show because Dan and Dave don't like Stan Baratheon.
Well, you know, I think not only do they not like Stannis, but I don't think they like the actor that played him. When you see the interviews with him, you just feel like this guy just wants a paycheck. He did a great job, but man.
Yeah, and you can tell, and people may say, "Oh, Dan and Dave ain't petty. They're not going to do that shit. That's too petty." They made Jon Snow's dick small because they didn't want him to have too much. So if that don't show you right there that they put their emotions into these scripts, then nothing else is gonna show. Like, oh, Kit Harington, he's getting all the bitches. Everyone loves him. Fucking make him have a little dick. Yeah, we'll show him. We'll show you. We'll show you. That's what they did. That's what they did. Because that's how they get down. And also, you see the other one when he was playing that hand smack game, when you turn your hands over and you get smacked. You see Jason Momoa almost broke his hands doing that. But that shows you the type of dudes they are. You know what I mean? So that's all you got to know about them. They petty like that. They stuff get on their nerves like, damn, Kit Harington, this motherfucker getting all these bitches. You know, I'm the creator of the show over here.
Power hungry.
I'm making all the money right here. Right here. That's me. You know, they had to get him back. And that's how they got him back.
Well, basically, the reason why I wanted to talk about Bar for just a moment was just, like I said, I know your connection with her is pretty epic. And I've watched her since Bar to Porto, you know, and I don't know how long that was, but my goodness, I'm going to really miss her. So if she's watching, just wanted to say, love you, Bar, and hope things are good for you.
I love you too, Bar. Don't go away. Just stay. You know, it gets better. Just don't, you know, I would say, I'll probably say it to her, whatever I say to her personally, I'll say to her personally, but in general, I would just say, just don't put as much effort into it and just do it time to time and don't care. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And just say, hey, I'm going to put a couple in there and that's it. And there he goes. And that's what it is. You know what I mean? Look at that. Speaking Stannis and Cupcake, here's T baby.
She knows how to arrive.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. So I actually go ahead. No, shout him out.
I'm gonna say what up to Angelina High for making your way over here. What up to T Baby? What up to Lord Last Heart? I said what up to the gray area, but she's good looking, so she can get another what up. And what up to the Macon Shadow? Europe is in the house, baby.
Nice.
Europe is in the building. There you go. Take it away, A.
Meridian Mormont too. So nice. Thanks for coming by.
Yes.
So basically, I got three characters that are still alive in the show that I wanted to talk about a little bit from the books. One of them is not your favorite character, Brienne. Mm-hmm. So how come we always call her Brienne of Tarth? Why don't we call her by her last name, like everybody else?
Why do they call her Brienne of Tarth, and why don't they all call her by her last name?
Yeah.
I think it's the only way to know where she's from. I don't think there's no other way to bring up Tarth, you know, if they don't say that. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anyone else really from that region that they could say anything else from to bring it up. You know what I mean? And I think it's just a weird situation that she's a woman doing what she does. You know what I mean? So it's just more, it's Brienne of Tarth doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they don't say Arya of Winterfell or Cersei of Casterly Rock.
They have, you know? They do say it once in a while. I mean, they don't say it on a regular basis like they do for Brienne.
Yeah.
But they do say, you know, the people from Winterfell, the Starks from Winterfell, you know, the Boltons. They don't never say the Boltons from the Dreadful because everyone knows that from. But I think maybe that means it could mean that there's some other, you know, no, well, they don't say her last name, but you know, there's no other Brienne anywhere else either. So you think that maybe there's a Brienne of fucking Old Stones or something like that, and this is Brienne of Tarth. But No, I think it's more got to do with just the way George R. R. Martin is writing it more than it has to do with a plot point. You know what I mean? Don't really think it has to do with more of a plot point. Me personally, just the way the man's writing and stuff.
Yeah, Patchface says that her last name is Tarth, but that's not right. Right?
What?
Well, her dad's name is Selwyn Tarth, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess you're right.
He's from the Sapphire. Well, yeah, I guess so. There's a place is named after them.
That is kind of a weird situation. Do you think she's actually related to Sir Duncan the Tall?
You know, I guess it all right. So George R. R. Martin has said that someone is related to Sir Duncan the Tall that's in the book. So the person that people are going to look at mostly is the tallest people in the show because he's so tall. So obviously we're gonna go towards Brienne. I don't know how many kids does Sir Duncan have because we know that he's fucking someone in Winterfell, right? We know he goes up there and he's fucking someone
Kissing
up
on
there.
the tree, yeah.
Right. So he's got maybe a baby up there. How would she have to do with that? I can't see it in any way having anything to do with that whatsoever. So whoop, look at that, Angelina. I appreciate that. I just think that it's possible because she's tall, but I would think that if you're going to do something, if you want to make it the shortest character, make it someone small. Don't make it someone tall. You know what I mean? Make that would be more shocking if you ask me. You know what I mean? For it to be like that. So, but it depends how many kids the guy's have. If he's got bastard kids, he's just fucking everyone and stuff like that. Unless he's not fucking someone up in Winterfell. But I think he does do something in Winterfell. But you know, if I had the gun to my head, I would have to say that she's most likely related to Sir Duncan too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say George has made it pretty obvious that he wants us to hone in on the shield that he has in the story, in the Duncan Egg story, and then the one that she had painted at was it Cracklaw Point or Duskendale? It was in Duskendale that she had it painted. Same exact profile. So kind of interesting.
But what does that mean, though? You know, in all honesty, what does it mean for the story? It really doesn't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? It's good backstory, and it's a good way to connect the Duncan Egg books, I guess, okay? But what's that going to mean for her? Is that going to make her someone different? You know what I mean? Is it going to make her all of a sudden royalty? Is it going to make her something? No, it's not. You know what I mean?
I think what it does is it talks about her background, and Duncan Egg in the stories, obviously we see that Dunk, even though he lied about his knighthood, his chivalry is unmatched.
Yeah, but if you're lying about your knighthood, that kind of contradicts your chivalry being unmatched, right?
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like the Ned thing. He lied about his certain things, but it was mostly it was a good guy, or everybody thought of him as a good guy.
Yeah, you know, I would, you know, I think this physicality, if you look at the way Dunk fought, he didn't really have a lot of good fighting skill. He was just bigger than everybody, and he just used his muscular ability to horse people around. I think when you see Brienne fight, she fights like that too. It's not that she's so skillful with the sword. She's skillful enough, but I think she's very deceptive with her size and her strength. People don't underestimate her strength, and she bullies people around with her body. You know what I mean? So I think kind of the connection is like that when the way their fighting style is. Because Dunk wasn't a great swordsman.
Right. He was a melee guy.
Yeah, he's a big dude, and he's gonna block your sword and try to tackle you to the floor. You know what I mean? That's how he got down. He's a big ass dude. So I think maybe it's something to do with that. But I think it's more just a connection for the Duncan Egg. Thank you, Angelina High, for the $20 donation. I do appreciate it.
That's 20 pounds, so that's probably that's like $100 in US.
Fuck yeah, and the way this dollar's falling right here in America. It sure is.
Yeah. So Brienne's always been one of my favorite characters until she fell in love with with Jamie, but what has your opinion been of her throughout the book series?
Brienne, you know, I really don't. It's not a character that I really give a fuck about. You know what I mean? It's just a character that is there, and she serves whatever purpose she's gonna serve in the show. You know, but it's no one that I really got emotionally invested in Brienne, and she could die tomorrow. I don't give a fuck. You know, the fact that they made her kill Stannis in the show was bullshit to me. All right, there's no way it's happening in the books. No way, no way, no way that's happening. I mean, in all honesty, I think it's a better chance that Brienne kills Stannis in the show, in the books, than actually Stannis burns his daughter. There's a better chance of her doing that. But I don't think that there's anything special about her character. Just something for Jamie character. Like, she is a bridge, a gap for Jamie, a plot point to connect Jamie and the Starks. You know what I mean? They needed someone to fill in the gap there to keep it going, and I think that's what her main mission was. And may have expanded her role a little bit since then, because he's liked the way people have taken to her. But I really don't have a lot for that chick whatsoever. You know, I don't really care about her. She doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, she's. I could tell in your videos that she's not been one of your favorite characters.
She's a traitor. Let's break it down right off the bat. She's a traitor to the realm. You know what I mean? Listen, you went with the traitor Renly Baratheon over Stannis Baratheon. Right then, you're a traitor to the realm. You know, and that's the bottom line. You know what I mean? So I got no love for this chick who's supposed to be so honorable. As you said, this is an honorable person, Sir Duncan, and we see he's not really got this honor. And it's the same thing with her. You know what I mean? She went with the person who gave her the job, not the honorable person. She wanted the person, she wanted to be on the king's guard. No one wanted to put her on because she was a girl. He put her on, so I'm repping you in my rainbow guard. Who wants to be a part of the goddamn rainbow guard?
So, being that she's from Tarth, and you know, Renly is her liege lord, just like the Starks are the liege lords for the Umbers or whoever's up north. It's almost the same thing, right?
Almost, but I still think that you're talking about kingship here. It got nothing. It goes past the liege lords when you're talking about the king.
Well, then, you're saying she's a traitor because she didn't align with Joffrey.
She didn't align with Stannis Baratheon, the one true king.
But she doesn't know that.
Well, she knows it because she's following Renly, saying that Renly's the king because he's a Baratheon. So if you're going to go by that, you know he's the younger Baratheon. So you must know that Stannis is the true king.
I'll buy that. I'll buy that.
There's no other way to think about it. So she knows exactly what she's doing. She was just on Renly's dick, and Renly gave her a job. Let's call it.
That's what it comes down to, right?
No doubt about it.
So another one of my favorite characters, and not because he's such a good guy, but Theon Greyjoy. He's always got the action going. He doesn't care who it is. You know, he's always going after it. So tell me what you think about him overall in the books.
Yeah, I hate Theon Greyjoy. He's a piece of shit. You know, I don't like people. I'm a very loyal person. You know what I mean? Very loyal, very loyal. People know me. If you're my man, you're my people's. I'm your man. 50 grand. You can count on me. I'm there for you. That's what it is. This motherfucker, man, gets to turn his back. Now, it's a tough situation when you really look at it. You know, you're taken prisoner by these people. You go back to your. I mean, it's more on Rob than anything. You go back there. Do you side with your father and them, or do you side with Rob? You know what I mean? For that reason, all that, I think anything that happens to him, he gets what he gets. I got no love for Theon. I would have wished Ramsay did worse to him, to tell you the truth. Mm-hmm. I was happy when he got all his shit dick cut off and get filleted. I like those. It makes me. I remember when the show was coming on and people were like, I hope they don't show it. I was like, they better show that shit. They better show it. I need to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see him get what he deserves. And that's
they did a good job as far as that psychological torture of bringing him into a situation where he thinks he can get away or he thinks he's going to get a reward, and they just slap him silly, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, there's no doubt about it. And he deserves everything he gets. I don't see any way out for Theon Greyjoy. I know people thinking he's going to be the rule the Iron Islands when this is all over. There's no way. There's no way out for Theon Greyjoy. He has too much blood on his hands to survive.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't seem to have that loyalty that you're talking about. Not the least bit, because all he did was take one step away from the Winterfell control, and he just went absolutely crazy.
As I said, it's a difficult situation because you are really these people's hostages. I understand that. So I understand that, you may want to side with your family and stuff like that and everything else, but it's just, it wasn't like they were treating him bad there. He was a hostage, but he got treated better than Jon Snow. So it wasn't like he was getting treated like a piece of shit then. They was starving him or anything else like that, And the man did have dreams, like hoping that, Ned Stark would marry him off to Sansa and shit like that, and he'd be over there. His dream. You can dream.
That ain't gonna happen.
No, you can dream. I dream about Jennifer Lopez and shit, but hey, I've dreamed that dream many times, many times. And that's it.
But I've got it going on, huh?
Yeah, I ain't A-Rod. I ain't A-Rod, so she ain't messing with me. I ain't get that contract. I ain't get that one.
So the other character that's kind of a weird offshoot character is Robin Arryn. Sweet Robin. Robert. He's named after Robert Baratheon. Do you think he's Littlefinger's son?
It depends how many times he slept with this chick. I mean, because we know that she lost the one baby when she was young. Obviously, it wouldn't be that because she was a baby then. When else did he sleep with her to make that his child? That's what it really depends on. Is there any proof that he slept with her after that initial drunkenness when he was a child? Was there any proof that he slept with her after that? There would have to be some proof there that said he had to at least slept with her one more time. You know what I mean? For it to be that there was.
Well, what was so unusual about her situation is she was actually brought to court with Jon Arryn. So he was in court. She was in court. We know that Jon is 74, 75 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I don't know how them boys swim at 75. No. I don't know if the backstroking up there, if the butterfly stroking. I don't know if they're doggy paddling. Probably doggy paddling at that point, right? So, yeah. But I still think a dog paddle is effective. It will get there if you give it a chance. You know what I mean? So it's quite possible that you did it. I would just think that before she died, if they had slept together, she would have said something about it at some point. She would have brought it up again. You know what I mean? That she slept. But the only time she brought it up was that when he thought she slept with Kat, when he thought it was Kat and it was really her.
Right.
So obviously that baby was aborted. It would be a whole totally different age because we see her father that's the biggest guilt he had in his life, was aborting that baby.
The other thing too is in the books, he was actually at his home when they got married, Littlefinger's home, and the same thing. You could hear both of them having sex all night, and you would think if they were having sex during the whole time they were in Winterfell or in King's Landing, it wouldn't be such a dramatic experience.
Well, listen, when Littlefinger in the show, at least when he was fucking her, from what I remember, she was losing her mind.
Well, that was in the books too.
Yeah, I mean,
but it was at Littlefinger's home.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, she's a loud woman. I don't know if she could keep that under wraps. You know what I mean? If she was having the fan here with Jon Arryn, the way she's screaming, and believe me, I had chicks screaming. I've had a lot of chicks screaming, but I also know chicks be faking it. Or I'm not gassing myself to the point, but some shit is outrageous. All right. And she was outrageous. You see, it was acting like a goddamn horse was up in her. You know what I mean? The man's name is Littlefinger for a reason. Let's not get, you know what I mean? Yeah, men, don't gas yourself. You know what I'm saying? A fucking baby comes out of that. Yeah. All right? A 9-pound, 8-pound baby comes out. Don't think I'm gonna tear this up. I'm gonna hold this down like no other man can. That's not true. Another man can do the same exact thing. Trust me, that's the way it is. I know you want to gas yourself. I know you want to feel good about yourself, but you got to be a realist. And some of these chicks are crazy. I remember my brother, give you a story. He was sleeping with his goddamn ex-girlfriend one time. This chick, it was nuts the way she was screaming. Terrible. I thought he was stabbing her with a knife the way she sounded. To the point that the next day we went outside, the next door neighbor came over and he was like, "Did you hear that last night?" And I was like, "Hear what?" He was like, "Somebody was doing some serious fucking." And I was like, "Oh." But come on, people. These women, don't let them gas you. They be faking shit. They be making up these noises just to make you come faster. That's when you know when they bored and shit and they want to get through it and shit. All of a sudden these noises come out of their mouth and something, and then it's over. But you, ST baby, she tell you, she knows. T baby knows she be faking. She knows she be faking. God damn it! I know she done faked on cats. Don't let them fuse it. You go through this whole chat right now. Every woman in here, when you ask him, I ask you, have you ever faked orgasms on a man? Women, answer this question. Have you ever faked an orgasm on a man? Put it in the chat. I guarantee every one of them says yes. There's not going to be one that says no, goddamn. They all have done it. They know it.
So in the book, would you say she was screaming then to let everybody know that they were really married? Because that seemed to be like her desire. Big time.
I think it was to let everyone know that they're married and stuff like that, and that she was trying to big up her husband. You know what I mean? Make her husband feel like he's a real man. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to make your husband feel like you're a real man and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So they do that. And that's what it is, you know. So the other guys, the guards outside and stuff like that, they think they're crazy. You ever see that movie Black Knight with Martin Lawrence?
Sure.
All right, and you know what scene I'm talking about when he's in there with the princess. Like, whoa, the girl screaming, they ain't really doing that. As soon as she comes out, the guy's like, "Oh, she's a wild one, isn't she?" That's what it's for. It's for that. It's for guys.
Show. It's for show. Yeah.
That's all it is. It's for guys to make guys feel good about other guys, and that's it.
Brittany B says, "Yeah, I got things to do." That's funny. That's pretty good. So, all right, Alex Waller, $10, Tony.
Oh,
nice.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that. But again, I will say it again, that if you can, please move that to the GoFundMe page. I appreciate it being left here and some of that, but I probably won't see that before the con starts.
Well, not only that, but I think you explained before that when you donate to Super Chat, and it's an awesome thing. It goes, some of it goes to YouTube, and some of it goes to the Super Chat, and then the rest goes to you. So, whereas the GoFund it's all you. It's
all me. So it gets cut 3 ways. If you're in the Super Chat, it goes to YouTube, it goes to the Super Chat, and then the rest goes to the person. So it's just a way for other people to make money. I appreciate it and everything else.
Much appreciated, Alex. Yeah.
No doubt about it. But this is money trying to get me to the con, so I need that dough. You have to put it, if you could put it in my GoFundMe page, get the down to the con. I'll put a link in the description when this is over. I really, truly would appreciate that. But I do appreciate this, Alex, and I definitely will take that 10 B's and get a drink and drink it on your behalf, my brother.
Sweet. Thanks, Joe Swag. He said he gave at the GoFundMe site, so thank you.
Oh, that's what's up. Joe Swag's my motherfucking dude right there. What up to my boy Joe Swag? That's my motherfucking man right there. That's an underboss on Teflon TV Patreon channel.
Nice.
And if you want to be on the Patreon TV Teflon family, just all you gotta do is donate on my Patreon page, and it doesn't matter how much you donate, but I'll find a spot to put you in on the end of all my videos. Anyone who donates name will be on the video. I guarantee it. I put them all up.
As Tony says, it only takes $1.
$1, one rib. One rib. How much for one rib?
So the other character I wanted to talk about a little bit is Podrick Payne, who is obviously a distant cousin to Ilian Payne. Hangs out with Brienne, another one of your favorite characters. So this guy if Brienne's not even on your list, this guy must be like on the bottom of your shoe.
Yeah, I don't think he has any service to the show at all. Obviously, the dick game skill that he's displaying in the show is nothing to do with the books.
Right.
I mean, what is the man doing? That's really. I just think that as Brienne is a link to two different characters, Podrick Payne is also another linking character there. I don't really care about him. I have no emotional attachment to House Payne or anything like that. And and if he passes away tomorrow, he passes away. If he doesn't make it out the Lady Stoneheart situation, so be it. I won't care whatsoever. He's not really that important in the big. He's a kettle. He's a little bit above a Kettle Black to me. A little bit.
Yeah, he's been around longer, right?
Yeah, he's been around a little longer, but he's just a little bit above the Kettle Black. He is not too much above the Kettle Blacks.
Does the fact that he was quote unquote squire for Tyrion, does that matter at all?
I mean, that's a weird situation to me too. I think you're squiring from a guy who's not even a knight.
Right.
How are you squiring for someone who's not a knight? I would think you could only squire for someone who's a knight, right? But they let him squire for
gentleman's gentleman, right?
Huh?
He's just a weapons bearer at
That's
that
what
point.
he is. He's just a lapdog following Tyrion around. You know what I mean? He's not really a squire. He's not teaching you shit. You should be able to get a squire. You're supposed to learn stuff. You know what I mean? He's more of what Jon Snow was to me for Commander Mormont. More than
Stewart. Yeah.
That's it. That's all he is Tyrion Stewart. Do the laundry, clean the dishes, and do that, and that's it.
Angelina, thank you for coming by. I know you're way east of us, and you've got a long night. So thanks for coming by. Thanks for the donation. I really do appreciate it. I know Tony does too.
And I love you, Angelina. Thank you for Stephanie stopping by. You know what I mean? Hanging out. And stay safe across the pond.
Amen. Yeah, he's one of those guys that Podrick Payne in the books that's so funny. I think he just adds a lot of humor to the story. He's such a stutterer, such a clumsy, kind of a goofball. And I remember seeing an interview with George, and they asked him, so what is Podrick's secret? Like he's going to tell them. And he's like, you got to go ask Dan and Dave, because I didn't have any of that in my books, So.
No, he's just, Podrick Payne is just filler. Let me put it to you like this. If Game of Thrones was a porno flick, Podrick Payne would be a fluffer.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, all honesty, ain't you right? That's all he is. He's just a fluffer. That's all he is. He's there to get everyone ready to go for the main course. That's it.
Oh, well, speaking of fluffers, Gendry is another one of those characters that I know a friend of yours really did a great theory video on Gendry being the one true son of Robert Baratheon. And as a fan of Stannis, this has got to be a really tough thing for you to swallow. But looking at it, as much of a liar as Cersei is about the facts, if you want to call it that, don't you think that if you could read between the lines of what Cersei actually says and think that she actually had a baby with Robert?
I don't think so. I think this is a show situation. I don't know. I don't think that he is the son. Don't picture Cersei singing songs to nobody or anything like that. You know what I mean? I think they put the blonde hair there and said it just to start that rumor. Just to get people thinking that way. And I think that's what it is. I would say it like this. When it comes to theories, people, I would say like this. There's a reason why it's called a theory and not facts. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's it. Now, even if you look at R plus L equals J, and we know that to be fact, it's still, there's holes in it enough that people can come up with other theories. You know what I mean? So that's the way it is. And I think it's the same thing with Gendry. I don't think he's a big character. He's coming back this year in the show. We know what happens to every character who comes back. They die. I don't think there has been a character that came back on Game of Thrones that has not died. And he will die too. this season. So get y'all better hope he takes his shirt off, ladies, while he's somewhere else, because he ain't gonna be taking his shirt off across the wall where he's going.
No.
But he's getting his ass kicked and he's getting killed. Period.
So that's what you think is going to happen to Gendry?
But he has to. I don't think anyone has ever came back and survived yet. So why would I think he's going to survive, right?
But I think they did I'm talking about James and LaDonna. I think they did such a great job in explaining the details of why they think Gendry is the one true son.
All right, let me explain. James LaDonna, I love James LaDonna. All right, love them. They're my peoples.
Yeah.
But the lawyers, right? By profession, right?
You think that's what that's all about?
You think that they ain't gonna explain something proper? They gonna explain it proper. It's gonna be explained proper. They're lawyers. This is what they do, people. There's no doubt about it. And it's a great theory. I'm not saying it can't be true, but I just don't see it. I don't see it going down that way. We got the Maggie the Frog. It would totally dismiss the whole Maggie the Frog thing. It would take that out of the equation. And,
How?
Because they said when you look at the number of kids that Cersei has, they don't include Gendry.
Right, but they're not talking about how many kids they had together. They're only talking about how many kids they had each by each.
Well, I don't think that's the question that she asked the Maggie the Frog. She asked the questions, will the king and I have kids, right? That is the question that she asked, and she said she answered
it in the way that she
answered it. Yes, you will have kids, but you ain't having any together. 16 for him and 3 for you. You know what I mean? So I think
that's a way to interpret it.
I think she answered it correctly. Cersei asked instead of just saying, she's not going to say, no, are the king and I going to have kids? No, you're not going to have kids together. And she's saying, yes, you're going to have kids. He's going to have this many. You're going to have that many. Now, you're not going to have any together. I think
that's not what she says.
Huh?
That's not what she says.
What do you mean?
She doesn't say you're not going to have any kids together.
No, she doesn't say that. She doesn't say those words specifically. Right. But if you look at the question asked, is the king and I are going to have kids? And she goes, 16 or whatever it is for him and blah, blah, blah for you. Cersei's asking the question, are we going to have kids together? But she knows they're not going to have kids together. She doesn't just come out and blatantly say, you're not going to have kids together, because they're going to have kids. So she's answering the question. That's like kind of like the wish. If you rub on a lamp and say, I want $1 million, and then all of a sudden there's 1 million deer in your house.
Exactly.
I think it's that type of answer that she's giving her. You know what I mean? And I think that's the way it is.
I can see why you would interpret it that way, being a Stannis fan. I'm just I'm just saying, and I don't think that it has anything to do with the legitimacy of the throne, because we know that the throne doesn't matter, right?
No, it doesn't. The throne doesn't matter. It doesn't. What does that do? Only thing that would do is make him the Lord of Storm's End. All right? Because are you going to bring Gendry in to say there's another claimant to the throne? Is that why he's being introduced? Why would you introduce him as Robert Baratheon's son if that was the case?
I think the only reason for me as a reader of the book is that you've got another Valyrian steel wielding weapon by someone that is huge and was a warrior of renown. I mean, Robert, of all the crappy things he's been called, he is a true warrior.
He is. But what's that do? What would that do with Gendry being his son?
Well, then he would have the same qualifications. You would think. You would.
I mean, how many people? I mean, I can show you, like, people who are great dancers, like Fred Astaire. His son couldn't dance a lick. You see Michael good in basketball. So when you look at these things, you would think that would be the way it goes. But I think that all it could actually really do is, if you're going to introduce him as Robert's son, what's the reason? The reason would be to make him the Lord of Storm's End. But we already have that character in Edric Storm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I don't think January really means anything. You know what I mean? That's why he's rolling with the Brotherhood without banners and all these people. Well, that's Edric, Brotherhood without banners. My bad. But that's why you see him. But he's there to get. Why am I getting confused? Why am I fucking show's confusing me? Wait, he was rolling with the Brotherhood without banners. Yes. So so that's what. But Edric was squire for Beric Dondarrion, right? Yes, he was. Yes. Damn show confusing me and so like that.
No, it does.
So I don't think that it is really any weight for his character. Only thing that he would be is not going to make another claimant to the throne at all. They're not going to bring that in. The only claimant they're going to have in the end is Jon and Dany, and that's it. They're not going to bring another outsider, another Baratheon to come claim the throne or anything like that. So I can't see it really meaning anything, so I don't see the purpose of it being there.
Yeah, Elko brought a really good point in regards to Samwell being so different from Randall Tarley. I couldn't agree with you more there, but I think the fact that he's a hammer-swinging blacksmith definitely plays into the fact that he's going to be used as a weapon against the others.
Maybe to make Valyrian steel. I could see him serving that purpose, that he's the Black Fist that's able to reforge Valyrian steel, since he worked with the guy who was able to do it. He knows how to do that. Maybe he's able to forge it and make more weapons and everything else. But I think that it's not going to be shown on the show. I don't think so. But in the books, I don't think this war is going to be 6 months, or it's going to be years, I think. I don't think it's going to be a really fast war. You know what I mean?
No, not like the Battle of the Bastards or anything like that.
No, yeah, it's going to be a war. It's going to keep going on. It's going to go on for years and stuff like that. I think that when it's all said and done in the books. So I think if that is the case, then that would give him enough time to make weapons. In the show, it's going to happen in the episode. And it's going to be over. So he's not going to have that chance. So maybe he's playing the Edric Storm role in the show, that he would be the Lord of Storm's end, you know, when it's all said and done. But I just don't think that he's going to be alive after the season anyway, you know. One thing I'll say real quick, AU, about this show, whether it's the books or the show, whatever, it's going to go down. All these castles that they said have never been conquered, all of a sudden can get conquered by anyone. Yeah. I hate that. I can't stand it. Storm End's never been conquered.
8,000 years, yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's never been conquered. 8,000 years, Storm's End's never been conquered. But all of a sudden now Aegon can come over there with a goddamn elephant and take it over. You know, Winterfell's never been conquered in its history, but all of a sudden Theon can use a grappling hook and go over there and take it over. You know, all these places that are unconquerable falling so fast is bullshit to me.
Yeah. No doubt about it. No doubt. I agree. So let's move on to Tormund Giantsbane, if that's okay.
Yes, go right ahead.
So, go ahead. What were you saying?
I see babies, man.
All right. So Renee's going to be listening to us only. So that's cool. All right. So Tormund, obviously, one of the things that's cool about Tormund, and this is a total tinfoil theory, is that he's a former member of the King's Guard.
What?
Yeah. Because he's linked with Mance Rayder, and I know you've seen these theories before. But he's like, we're not talking about this, John. No doubt about it.
We're going to talk about it, but I'll say, come on. I mean, when you, it's like this. Let me explain to you. I watch wrestling.
Yeah.
Still to this day. I watched it when I was a kid with Junkyard Dog. Number One Bites of Dust. Sure. I still watch it to this day. I know it's fake, but it's entertaining to me.
Exactly.
So I watch it. So when I hear these theories, I think of it as a professional wrestling. You know, I know it's fake, but it's so entertaining to hear. So I enjoy people making them up and coming up with them. But you got to at least have something.
Give me something.
You got to have something that ties it together. You know what I mean? You can't have a guy who has a complete backstory already written and then rewrite it yourself. You can't do that just to make a theory. It can't be that. You have to have something that says that Tormund is somewhere been down past the wall Every action the guy has given you has been a wildling action. And now all of a sudden, I mean, he looks so much like a wildling that John thought he was the boss. But now all of a sudden, he is the guy that has been a part of the King's Guard. It's impossible.
Okay, we'll move on from the theory, but I still want to stay on the character because obviously he's going to be a big part of John's story in the book. He's been a supporter of his, even though he knew he betrayed him. And he said, if you ever betray me, I'm going to gut you and then stuff it down your mouth. So, this guy is a pretty tough dude.
He is, no doubt about it. I like the character. I like the guy. I like him all about it. I mean, I think it's a good. That's the way it is. I gotta take a piss real quick. I'll be right back.
I'll hang here. All right. So while Tony's off doing the bio break, we're gonna talk a little bit about what's gonna happen at Con of Thrones. I hope that Kyle from Kyle's Fucking Chickens is gonna be able to do some vlogging with George, and we'll get to see some of that. And hopefully we'll get a better video representation from Tony and anybody else that decides to go. Because that was a lot of fun seeing some of the videos that Alicia Kingston and Menard Geek TV and Don the Kraken Wit sent out about those. But it would be nice to have some live ones. Is anyone else in the chat going? To answer your question, Jonathan, AU stands for gold. I do a little bit of gold prospecting, so that's what that's for. Nobody else going to the con in Tennessee. I bet you the one true David Adams is going. I haven't seen him on the chats. All right, this is kind of a fun thing to do. Being on Tony's channel. Yes, gold on the periodic table. That's exactly right. All right, Sir Hunt's here. Actually, we were talking about you earlier, Tony. Tony was saying that he was going to be on your channel, so definitely looking forward to seeing some of those videos. And he's back.
I am back in this motherfucker.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Sir Hunt's is going to be in Nashville, and we were talking about him earlier going to be on your channel.
Yeah, I was going to be on Sir Hunt's. I should have been on his channel already, but as you can see, I was moving. I didn't have a chance to get back to him on it and stuff like that. I was moving everything, so I didn't have a chance to really do it. But now that I'm all moved and everything is settled up, I will be going on Sir Hunt's channel to get something jumping over there, you know what I mean, with the man and stuff like that. Actually, I see my Con of Thrones too, but before that, I'll definitely jump on his channel and stuff like that. Nice. So that's only the confusion. It was just that I was trying to get the move done and everything else. It's been a very hectic week with the move, the opening the business, all that stuff, you know what I mean? It's been a very hectic week for the Don Tony Teflon. Sorry about that going to the bathroom break, but blame that shit on Smokescreen, goddammit. Because that Smokescreen, he be doing 2 hours, taking 3 breaks. That motherfucker nice. Him and Phil the Issues guys, them motherfuckers be breaking, boy. They take 10 minutes, eat pizza and shit. No, I'm gonna start doing that shit too. I just thought I just had to go the whole. I'm doing 3-hour streams, not breaking at all. No more.
Time out.
You're taking time out too. God damn it. Yeah, that's the bomb. Someone said they like my sweater. Thank you very much for take the compliment. I appreciate it. What up to my girl Queen Cheryl? What up to Sir Hunt's review, chilling up in there and everything else like that? And what up to everyone else who's chilling here in the chat and came to see me? This is AU Packmule's 30-day live stream on Teflon TV. Take it away, eh?
Yeah, we're glad to have you guys joining us for this discussion about the book questions on all the characters that are still alive in the show, but also how they're affecting the book story. Because there's an awful lot of behind the scenes characters that I know Tony doesn't really give a crap about, but I like the way George puts him in the story, because during their conversations with each other, he creates a backstory, like almost like a flashback during that conversation. It just brings a lot of depth to the story. One of those characters is Gilly. I know you could care less about Gilly. I could tell, but you know, she's Sam's companion. She's been taking care of Mance Rayder's baby. We always talk about the monster baby, the 100th child of Craster, yada, yada. There's so much going on with that story. But as far as Gilly herself, she's just another one of the fluff characters for you.
Well, no, because she's a Targaryen, so she's not. And if you look at my video I made it with Don Willie, and I made it with Don the Kraken Wit, the White Walker's monster, and I tell exactly how that baby is Craster is Blood Raven's son. I break it down and tell you exactly how that is. So I do believe that she has a little bit more importance, because I think that in the books, most likely that her baby will probably be the Night's King. That's what it seems like that's going to go down in the books when it's all said and done. When they get a hold of that baby will be the baby that they turn into the actual Night King that we're seeing in the show. I think it'll go down like that. So I think she has more importance than the other characters, but that's it. If you look at, I'm not going to give you my whole video, go watch it, you know what I mean? But if you look at everything that's in there, it definitely connects, especially if you look at Blood Raven's mother, obviously, and you got to remember Blood Raven's mom, Blood Raven is half North. So it's not like Gilly's going to look totally Targaryen. She's not, because she's got more North in her than Targaryen. But if you look at Melissa Blackwood and them in description, and you look at Gilly's description and you put them together, it's just about the same exact description. I think that's the reason. And the Gilly flower that she's named after just happens to be a purple flower, you know. So, and we hear even in the show Maester Aemon say, "Oh, Gilly of the Gilly flower." So obviously that is what she's truly named after, is that flower. This happens to be a purple flower. Also, when you look at it, why, if that is not his son, if Craster is not Blood Raven's son, then why does he send his goon, Cold Hands, over there to kill all the people, the mutineers? Why does he do that? He would be happy to have those people kill the person who's making babies for the White Walkers. And then when you hear that, not only does he send him over there, we see that the mutineers' eyes get pecked out by the ravens and the crows. They get scratched up. So why is he himself getting involved in this fight? We don't see him get involved in any other fight, but he gets involved in this fight. Not that Cold Hands needed the help. He did it because it was personal for him, and they killed his son. And that's the bottom line, and that's why he got involved in it, and that is what it is. So that, I think, is the reason Gilly's purpose more than anything else.
Well, since you talked about Blood Raven's children, does he have any other children that you know of?
You know, I mean, if you want to go the Yoke Boys theory of Sierra Seastar,
that's a pretty convincing theory.
It is very convincing, and you know, I'm not one to say that it's not true. I mean, obviously there's something going on with the heart-shaped face and everything else. It's a good theory. It's a very good theory. It's solid. Is it true? It quite possibly could be. Could be. I can't tell you that it's not. That's the best way I could say it.
Sure.
I can't tell you that it is, but I really can't tell you that it's not. So that's the best way I could put it. I have nothing to say that could refute that theory at all.
In the show, they want you to believe that she's 200, 300, 400 years old. Obviously, that would disprove that theory completely, but they're so vague in that timeline. I don't think that's the case at all.
She's that, yeah. You know, if you want to
get a body like that, you only need to be what, 90, 100 years old.
She would have to be.
I wouldn't personally know, so I couldn't tell you.
She would have to be at least 90, 80, 89. I mean, because when you looked at her in the show, that wasn't a 500-year-old lady.
No.
Even when
I didn't think so.
Out glamour, because a 500-year-old lady, no, it's not gonna look like that. You know what I mean? I've seen 90-year-old, 98-year-old ladies that look, you know, spots all over their skin and stuff like that, and you see the veins and the bones in them, and you know, look worse than she looked at that particular time in there. You know, I mean, the ass was drooping, but at 90, I've seen gravity's going to catch up with you. You can't blame the old girl for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You held that ass up high when Stannis was there.
Oh yeah, that's another story. All right. So the one thing I did want to say about Mel's hair is that in the books it gives us the impression that it could be silver, and she's dyeing it red. You know, kind of like hiding it the way Varys does.
You know, it's all about this glamoring situation you would have to really go on. You know what I mean? How strong is this glamour, and who could outsee? Now, this is something I'm going to say that I haven't heard anyone else say at AU Packmule. And I'm going to say it here on Teflon TV on AU Packmule show on Teflon TV. It should have been on AU channel, but I mean, I would think that that's quite possibly a way that Arya could expose her if she gets that far. Can Arya see through glamours, being a faceless man? Do they have the ability to see past glamours? Can she see her for what she truly is if she's seen her again, now that she's been through all that training?
I don't think so.
Because we've seen that Dunk seen through Bloodraven's glamour.
And he has no training.
And he has no training whatsoever, but he was able to do it with a keen eye. And then you see her say that even when Mance Rayder has a Lord of Bones on, that he has to put the bones on because that helps. So she was worried that Jon Snow would be able to see through that without the bones. So is it possible that with this faceless man training, that Arya can see past this glamour? And
well, I think the training that she got was in regards to the people lying, who they are and where they came from and that sort of thing. And that would give it away, but I don't think her vision is going to be able to see through the glamour.
Because it's just the art. It's just a shadow over what she really is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And if Sir Dunk was able to see through it, and she was worried that Jon Snow was able to see through it, they had him go put the bones on. It's quite possible that Arya maybe would see this chick for what the fuck she really is, and may just put the stab on her.
Not to get too sidetracked, but Jonathan Haymaker had a question in regards, or a observation in regards to Mel being in the bathtub, and that's strictly a TV show mistake, I think. Mm-hmm. Would you agree?
It was a mistake. I could have sworn I heard them admit that it was a mistake.
Okay.
That she should have had the choker on her neck in the bathtub, and they had her not have it on.
Yeah.
And I think that
happens from time to time.
That they admitted that was a mistake. She should have had that on when she was in the bathtub.
So Gilly being a Targaryen certainly answers, and we shouldn't say Targaryen, right? Because, Bloodraven was legitimized.
You could say Valerian or whatever.
Yeah. Well, how is that going to affect them in the long run? Is it because I think she has Valyrian and Northern blood?
Yeah, I think it's the blood that's able to change, that helps change these people to White Walkers. I know that in the show it's shown differently and stuff like that. They're saying will take a piece of dragon glass, stick it through their chest, and they turn to White Walkers. But I think in the books it has something to do with the bloodline. I don't think anyone can just be turned to a White Walker. I think it has to do with a certain type of blood that has to do it. And whether it's Valyrian Stark blood or whatever it is, I'm not sure, but I know she has the blood. I think that's the only reason. There's no other reason. If you're looking at the book, and we're looking at the book, why else would they switch babies and have Sam run off with this baby? I mean, they give the excuse in the book that Melisandre would burn the baby.
Sure.
But that's the excuse they give you in the book to keep your mind at ease. But what's the real reason? What's the real reason that baby had to find a way to leave that baby at the wall? Because if that baby got taken to Old Town, the White Walkers wouldn't find it. There's no way they're coming to Old Town again.
Gotcha.
There's a reason why it had to be done, and that's the reason why the baby has to be at the wall, because that baby is the Night's King, or you can call it the Night Azor Ahai for the White Walkers, or whatever you want to call it. But that's who that baby is for them.
Good point.
And done.
Yeah, but they make show mistakes like that all the time. I mean, obviously we saw Arya get stabbed twice and twisted and thrown
Didn't
in.
get stabbed. The knife is longer than her forearm. It should have stabbed the girl behind her. It came out of the back and stabbed away. It was so long that night. You know what I mean? So I don't understand it unless she has some type of, dark Phoenix telekinesis that she could just keep the blood pumping through her stomach while she holds her veins shut, like she did, like Jean Grey did when Wolverine stabbed her up. There's really no other reason why she should have been able to survive that situation.
That's funny. All right, so the next one I'm going to talk about is Mira Reed. Obviously, Howland Reed is her dad. Jojen's her brother. I haven't really seen a lot of your videos that talk about her that much.
No, I have not done a lot of videos on Mira Reed. Only thing I ever said one time, and I think people got upset about it, was I said that, is it possible that Bran has sex with Mira in Hodor's body? And they would say that he would have to probably rape her to do that. And I said it's quite possible that he could do it. People got upset with me for saying that. So that's really the only thing I ever said about Mira. But I will say that the costume, if you look at that costume thing that was just released, there was a costume in there that I couldn't tell whose costume it would be, and people in the comment section saying that maybe it's Mira's costume. She's going to get back to the Chronic land, so maybe that's a Chronic man costume. It could be a Chronic person costume and stuff. Mira is more, Mira is Bran's Brienne.
Yeah.
You know
exactly,
what I mean?
Exactly.
That's what she is for him. So I think that's what her character is, someone just to bridge gaps through situations, to tell the story of the Laughing Tree, to help bring Lyanna Stark, Jon's parents, is another clue towards that. No more less. I don't think she's a very important character overall than that. I think that she could die at any time. But they had her kill a White Walker in the show, which is amazing that she killed a White Walker in the show. To me, that they had her do that with a spear tip and throw it right in the neck and catch him like that. So I think there'll be other people to kill White Walkers too.
So do you really think she's Howland's child?
Yeah, she's not Jon Snow's twin.
I don't get that.
It's not going to be anything like that. She is who she says she is. It's like her brother is who she says. It doesn't, as I said, when people think of theories and things like that, you have to just ask yourself, well, how does this advance the story? What does this do for the story? Her being Jon Snow's twin only complicates the story for a man who's only trying to write a couple of books. It does anything. You know what I mean? It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
She's Jon Snow's twin, all right? What does that mean? Not a damn thing. Exactly. So why have it that way? You know
I agree. I agree.
And that's it. She's there to help Bran get to the 3-Eye Raven, and someone there to help tell Bran the story of Jon Snow's lineage. And someone for him to fall in love with. He has to have a love interest. Everyone does, and that's his.
Yeah, they did bring that up in the book a lot in regards to him seeing Asha naked and noticing her body different than his sister's. And that might be one of the things that ends up being long-term for Bran and Mira.
Yeah, I don't think Bran survives, and I don't think he gets out of the tree in the books. I still think now, could the Night King come and assault the tree and take him out and something like that? Is quite possible. I think that what they have to show, what they haven't shown, and what they have to show is they really have to show someone take somebody's mind over in a different body and stay there forever.
Right.
I think they have to do that. So it's a possibility that maybe the Night's King and them assault the tree and it gets taken over while Bran is in the 3-Eyed Raven thing. And then he takes his mind out of Bran Stark and the body of Bran Stark dies and he's inside someone else. And that's Bran for the rest of the show. I think it's quite possible that something like that can go down.
So isn't it kind of strange that Howland only has 2 representatives of all of House Reed and there's no other Crannogmen visible in the books?
I mean, I guess they are, right? When they attack the Ironborn and they're shooting the darts in them and shit. All right, and then poisoning them up and shit. They're shooting them, and they're hiding out in the bushes when the Ironborns take Deepwood Mont. It's the Krennic men that's attacking them right from the bushes with the little poison arrows and shit like that. The poison darts, and not really beating them, but just frustrating them and keeping them stuck in there. You know, so I think that's the representation of House Reed. I think they did show that in the show when Theon went over there. That's why they were all pussy, the guys over there, when Ramsay had Theon talk them out.
At Deepwood Mont?
Was it Deepwood Mont? What was that at?
I didn't know that was the Reeds that are the Krennic men that did that.
Yeah, it's the
I thought that was a pox that they had gotten.
No,
I'm talking about the book.
Yeah, no, that's the Krennic men shooting arrows at, shooting poison darts at him, fucking with them. Moat Kalen, they're saying it is. So Moat Kalen, thank you very much.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that's the Krennic men shooting up poison tip darts at him, fucking with them the whole time. That's them out there doing like guerrilla tactics and shit. You know what I mean? And fucking with them and stuff like that. So that's them doing that and stuff. So yeah, I think that Asha takes Deepwood Mont, right? Yes, I think it's her, and that they take the Moat Kalen. But I think that's what happens there and stuff. And so I think that's the representation we get of them. I think we'll see. I mean, I think we will see Howland Reed before it's all said and done. Don't know if we'll see him in the show, but in the books, we definitely will see Howland Reed.
We've got to, right? I mean, he's like one of the epic characters that can tie past and future together.
He is, and he's a respectable person that people believe what he has to say. And that also falls into the point of that, you know what I mean? So I think that he could have had something to do with the kidnapping of Lyanna Stark. He could have helped Rhaegar pull that off. You know, he may have helped it all go down. I don't think we know exactly when the kidnapping happened from the tourney of Harrenhal to the actual kidnapping. I don't think we have an exact time there. It didn't happen at the tourney of Harrenhal, the kidnapping. It happened sometime after and stuff. So I think that it's quite possible that because Howland's, it's not to Ned his loyalty. His loyalty, I think, is more towards Lyanna at that particular time. So if Lyanna said something and told him that, maybe that's the reason why him and Ned stopped speaking. Maybe Ned found out. Maybe he confessed to him, hey, I helped them do this. Because they love each other because you helped me. And he's like, how could you go against me? Blah, blah, blah. Get out of here. I'm not talking to you anymore.
Yeah.
It could be a situation like that. But I think he was more loyal to Lyanna than Ned at that particular time.
Sure, because she was the one that first rescued him.
She's the one who saved his ass. It wasn't Ned doing that shit. And, you know, that's another thing. You got to look at when you look at that situation with Rhaegar and Lyanna. I said this in my video, and I think people are picking up on it now here and there. She's a baby, man. You know,
she was 14 or 15.
Yeah, she's a grown ass. She's a baby.
Yeah.
I mean, if he can't bag a baby, then that's like Elvis and Priscilla Presley, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
And that's basically what it is.
Same
I mean, and Priscilla was older. I think Priscilla was 16. She's 2 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, how can't you, if you're Elvis and you run up on a 16-year-old and say, hey, I want you, how are you not going with that man?
No kidding.
How is that not going down? Of course it's going down. Has to go down.
Let's see, Robert or Rhaegar. Robert or Rhaegar. There's not a choice. Yeah.
That's like, I'm trying to think of someone equivalent to Robert in the music industry at that particular time.
You're going to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, but saying Elvis Presley here or whoever this person is. Elvis or this person? You're going with Elvis. You want to go to Graceland, goddammit. That's the bottom line. You know, speaking of Graceland, Tony Teflon and Don will be at Con of Thrones.
Nice.
Check me out. Support me to help me get there. Click on my link to my GoFundMe page and help the Don get to the con. Quick plug.
Nice. Glad you threw that in there. So yeah, she's one of those characters that definitely throws me off because you know, the whole connection between the weirwood trees and Bloodraven. Bran, all he had to do was touch the weirwood tree at Winterfell, and he probably could have gotten the same information that he got from Bloodraven and avoided all of that drama, if you will.
would he have had access to the power, or did Blood Raven allow him access to the power? It comes to that point. Now, if he has access to the without Blood Raven's help, then yes. But did Blood Raven give him the help to do that? That would be the question there at that particular time when it goes down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you knew Jojen helped him go up there in a way that it just really is strange that the whole trip had to be made. I just, because we see him later touching a tree in a very superficial way.
Yeah.
And getting the same connection that he did.
And that is why I believe that Blood Raven is trying to escape through Bran, escape out of the tree, and trying to switch spots with Bran. There's no other reason for Bran to have to go up there. Exactly as you said. When you have the ability to have a telephone in Westeros, right? I don't have to go to AU Packmule's house to have a conversation with him.
No.
He could just call me. And we can have the same, he can give me all the information, I can have it all. Now, unless you think that phone is tapped. Now, I don't know if the Weirwood tree is tapped, right? And people are picking up on that. So I don't know if they got tree taps. I don't know if the FBI got tree taps back then, the King's Guard and all that. I don't know how they doing it back then. You know, I can't tell. But if it's a situation like that, then you got to speak to me personally, then yes. But if not, then there'll be no other reason for Bran to make this journey unless he's going to get his ass stuck in that tree. I think Blood Raven is trying to do an Atlas Stone type situation to him and leave him there and keep him there and escape in his body or escape in Jon Snow's body. I think if anyone, he would want to be in Jon Snow's body because Blood Raven is basically what Jon Snow is. And I know that if you leave your body, you usually lose your powers. That's what Vlad Sixskins didn't want to lose his powers. That's why he didn't want to go. But eventually he decided to go. So if he went to Jon, he would not even lose all of his powers. He would still maintain his powers.
Yeah, Amber Chipman just put in a link to the GoFundMe page in the chat. So thanks for doing that.
Chipman is a beautiful woman. And I have this painting right here that Amber Chipman painted for me right here.
How cool is that?
And it'll always be on Teflon TV forever. I just haven't had a chance to put it up here, but don't think that I'm streaming without it. It's always there. And it'll always be there. As long as Tony Teflon the Dom streams, that picture will be in the picture.
How cool is that? So we have a question, and I'm not going to do too many questions yet from the chat, but this one asked from Julie Reiniger. Do you think there's a passage in the crypts that goes to the Godswood tree roots in Winterfell?
Yep. I think there's passages, links underneath these crypts that go to a lot of different places. I mean, I really do believe that without a doubt. When we see, if we look at the Forsaken chapter, not the Forsaken chapter, the last Arianne chapter, when she's going there and she goes into the caves and she's there underneath the ground and she's finding children of the forest bones and redwood trees roots under the ground. There's a reason why they're showing you that, because this is what's going down in the crypts of Winterfell too, without a doubt.
Yeah, that I totally agree with. It's like you said, it's their phone connection system.
And you also have a thing saying that when Stannis Baratheon captures Theon, he says he needs to keep Theon alive right now. He says he still needs him when he has him there. I think what he needs him for is to help him find the secret entrance into Winterfell. That could be, there's nothing else Theon could really provide to him at that particular time but that.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. So let's go to another creepy character who's probably not one of your favorites, but Qyburn. In the book, he's like super mega creepy. I think the way he sucks the life out of women and gives it to the mountain is just crazy.
But what's he doing? Is he doing a blood transfer?
That's what That's what I don't really know, because I don't think he has anything hooked up to them. I just know that when he's done with them, they're wasted, like, you know, like they just took their essence of life.
Mm-hmm. It's just like, Qyburn, to me, when I hear things about, he sounds like a modern guy that's getting slack because Qyburn performs operations on people when they're still alive. Well, that's the best time to perform them. I mean, we see it. We hear in our time period right now. We got someone they're about to do a head transplant on somebody, right? You heard about that, AU, right?
Sure.
Yeah, so they're about to do a head transplant, and they're not even concerned about the blood flow, because I guess there's a guy who's paraplegic and someone else who's brain dead, but his body works, and they're gonna take the paraplegic guy's head and put it on the brain guy's body, so he has a working body. That's what they're trying to do. And they're not worried about the blood. The blood's the least that they're worried about. They said they're worried about really connecting the vertebrae back together. That's what they're really more worried about than anything. So I just think that this is Frankenstein shit going on right here, right now. They've grown ears on the back of rats. This is gonna get to the point where when a human being gets born, they're gonna develop a clone for that human being, and you're just gonna harvest body parts off these people when you get sick. That's what it's gonna turn into. You know what I mean? So I think that Qyburn may be ahead of his time in the books and doing some things that people aren't familiar with people doing, but I don't think it's so crazy. And I don't know, because I don't think he has any magical skills or anything like that. Right. I think it's more the science and stuff like that with him. Marwin, I think, is doing more magical things and stuff like that. But Qyburn, I think he's just more of a, I like Qyburn's character. I do. I don't think that he's creepy, and Cersei's giving him women and doing all these things. I don't know exactly what's going on, but it just seems like he's doing a bunch of blood transfusions and regular operations. Doesn't seem like he's doing anything here going on like that.
Yeah, Jonathan asked, is he doing surgery or is he dissecting them? And we always see that they're alive afterwards, but they're always in a diminished state. So I think there was one dwarf that didn't live, but the others were all just like totally used up, is the best way to put it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I think it's gonna be a transplant, right? We got a couple. Let me answer this real quick. Let me say what up to Thrones Volume. Just say got home out of work. What up? Holla, AU Teflon. What up, my man? And someone asked a quick question: could Qyburn do a dick transplant on Theon? There's a lot of this. Let me tell you something about dick transplants, real quick. All right. Let me tell you something about dick transplant. If they could be done, everybody'd have a big ass dick, but people don't, right? Because they can't be done. So I don't think they can be done back then either. You know what I mean? Dick transplant is done. Anyone who's thinking about getting any enlargement or anything like that, don't do it. Just use what you got and be happy with you guys. Too much stuff going on down there. It's not like a boob enhancement. It's not like a butt enhancement. You're gonna go and you're gonna fuck yourself up. So if you're thinking about that, don't think about that. Just get nice with your tongue. You know what I mean? A woman can be satisfied with the tip of your pinky if you're good enough. All right? Don't go through all those lengths. It's not worth it.
Testify.
So, yeah, I don't think that Qyburn can do that. No,
I think he has more of a chance of replacing Jaime's hand than he does anything like that.
That's much more feasible. That could definitely go down. He could definitely do that. He could definitely put a new hand for Jaime on there, without a doubt.
Because most of the time, Jaime would have lost his arm, but he at least saved that.
All right, wait. Someone said they reattached John Wayne Bobbitt's dick. Yes, you're correct. They did reattach John Wayne's Bobbitt, but that's not a dick transplant. That's not taking a dick off of someone else and putting it on someone else.
Anyway, enough of that. Enough. I don't think that's book canon or show canon, so I think we can move on if that's okay.
Sure, sure, man.
we don't want to be getting into Bobbitized like Julie said.
That makes guys' just legs clench together.
Oh,
That was mean when she did that shit.
Yeah,
That
I
was
was
mean.
I was around when that happened, so yeah, that's
Oh,
crazy.
that was mean when this chick. She did, and she threw the shit on the floor out the
No,
window.
no, out the window of the car.
How you throw
They
the
had to
dick out
find
the
it in. They had to
window?
find it in an open lot.
How you throw somebody's dick out the window?
Oh,
You don't
dang.
throw a dick out the window. Throw my dick out the window. I would just look at him like, you threw my dick out the window. You know what you just did? That's my
Oh
dick.
man.
Oh my God.
Only death can pay for life. I love it, Lauren.
Indeed. God damn it. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
How many times did she go to jail for that shit?
She did, and they stayed married until she was out of jail, and then they got divorced. And then he did a porno movie.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. What they call it, the reattached dick?
I don't even know.
What's the? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So since we're in King's Landing talking about Qyburn, let's talk about Varys. And
Yes,
I've
sir.
seen you talk a lot about Varys. So tell me, do you really think he's the hidden Targaryen also?
Yes, he's definitely the Blackfire. No other reason for him to be there unless he is a Blackfire. In all honesty, I mean, why set up the whole? When you look at the Blackfire plot with Illyrio Malpatis, and you see that Illyrio's a liar, and when Tyrion questions, he tells Tyrion where Varys is from, and then Tyrion goes, "Oh, Varys is from I forgot where he said. I'm trying to think. He's from Pentos," and he goes, "Oh, you're right. Yes. He is from Pentos." That's showing you right there that the stuff coming out of his mouth is a lie. And then he says, "I don't know why Varys took interest in me." So obviously took interest in you because you were his family member. And that's the reason why. He's not giving you all the details because he can't, you know what I mean? But he's telling you that that's the reason why. That Varys is a Blackfire. He was related to Sarah. They're both Blackfires. That's why he says the Golden Company signed this contract. Some contracts are signed in blood other than money. The only blood that the Golden Company represents are the Blackfires. It just fits too perfect for John Connington to be there. There's no other reason John Connington would agree to do this unless he thought this was Rhaegar's son. Obviously, the man felt like he was in love with Rhaegar.
Yeah.
Who would know that he was in love with Rhaegar but Varys? Who would know to call John Connington to get this stuff done but Varys? It's all definitely built like that, and that's the reason why. I do believe he'll be exposed in the end for what he really is. There's no other reason why the guy that picked him out of everybody else and turned his dick into a dick kebab, but not no other slave. Why did they pick him? Why is he so special? Anytime that we see any of this blood magic work, it's usually with Targaryen blood.
Yeah, I didn't mean to make that link between the penis whole thing. That's not my intention, but he's got a great story as far as from everything we know about him. The one thing that's interesting is he is a mummer, so he does have some kind of sketchy background. But as far as what we know, do you think what he's telling us is true?
About what?
Well, in regards to, yeah, this is how I learned how to steal. This is how I learned, it's better to get the information than the money.
I think because in every good lie, there has to be some truth. You know what I mean? So I think he's giving you what he wants to give you and then switching it when he has to switch it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, he's good at switching.
So I think that's the way it goes down. I mean, the guy's a mummer. I mean, they say mummer. It's just an actor.
Yeah.
He's just an actor. I mean, is there anything sinister about Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt or any of Denzel Washington? It's actors. So the man can act a little bit better than other people. That's about all. You know what I mean? I mean, so we see Arya go to acting school. Faceless men. People go to. I don't want to hear Varys is a faceless man. Please, people, don't come to me with that garbage. He's not a faceless man because we see that he has the fake beard and everything else when they find it with the green coin, the coin of the green hand. So if he was a faceless man, he wouldn't have a fake beard and all that. That's not the case. Yeah, he's just an actor And that's basically all he is. You know what I mean? It's no more, no less than that.
We should have snacks for Reggie.
Huh?
We need to have snacks for Reggie.
Oh, I should get Reggie a snack.
When we take our next break.
Yeah, I'll definitely. I'll get him something.
So I was just thinking of something about Varys. You mentioned about the coin. Do you think the coin actually came from Varys, or do you think that was Jaqen H'ghar coin that comes up in the prologue of the next book?
The Order of the Green Hand coin, right? That's left there.
Yeah, I think that's the same coin he gave to Pate, or he was going to give to Pate.
There's a reason why that coin's left there. I really, in all honesty, I have certain on it, but the people who are actually the Order of the Green Hand channel on YouTube actually brought something to my attention about that coin, the fact that it was an Order of the Green Hand coin. So I totally do not feel comfortable saying that, because that really is what they said. I haven't watched any of their videos lately, so I don't know if they have already said it. So I'm going to have to refrain from saying what I would normally say, because mostly they had put that in my head. But I do agree with their assessment of it. But it was 100% them that put that part of my head. I totally overlooked that whole situation there. But I will say that the Order of the Green Hand itself, that order, is not done with in the books. They still have significance, and there are still people that are Orders of the Green Hand that are out there.
Okay, that's a good way of putting it. If that's the case, do you think the Faceless Men, the Jaqen, etc., are part of that?
I think the Manderleys are part of that. I think it has to tie into with the Wolf Den. You have to really tie it into with the Wolf Den more than anything, and you have to look at what these people were. You know, when you look at these people, that they were enemies of the Children of the Forest. They were people that
First Men. Yeah.
Well, the Children of the Forest, the Green Hand, or the Green Hand people. You have to really watch the video. But I do think that if they did make it, I do think that it's that the Order of the Green Hand itself, that order, is a knighthood that was devoted to killing the Children of the Forest.
Gotcha.
That's what I believe. I do believe that is the case. That
makes more sense.
And Green Hand, if you put your hand through a Children of the Forest's heart, the Green Hand. There is a guy. What's that guy's name from the Gardener Kings? That was
Garth the Green Hand.
Yeah, that's what. Not Garth himself, but there was a guy that from the Green Hands that was known for putting his arm through the chest of Children of the Forest, and then they called him like the Bloody Arm or Bloody Hand or something like that. That he would capture them and then take his hand and stick it right through their chest and pull their heart out with his hand.
Right.
And you know what I mean? These are the people. I think that it's quite possible that the people in the Wolf Den, when you're given the Wolf Den, that's what the true meaning of the Wolf Den was for. That's what it was there for to hold the Order of the Green Hand Knights,
Gotcha.
to house them there and stuff.
Makes sense. That was totally squirreled in a different direction, but I'm glad that you explained it. So Bronn is another one of those characters that's off topic. It's kind of like an offshoot of what really happens in the books to the show. But tell me about what you think Bronn's doing in the books. What's his backstory and
Bronn in the books?
Yeah.
These are characters that we keep bringing up that really don't know how much they will amount to in the books in the end. You know, they gave him a lot of role in the show because he's a popular actor and stuff like that. So in the books, I don't know if he has too much of a part to play.
Well, I think one of the reasons why he was given a bigger part in the show is because of the character that Ilian Payne played got prostate cancer, or I believe it was prostate cancer. And even though he lived, which I thought he had died, but he actually lived, he didn't want to act in the show anymore. So they gave a lot of Braun's parts, or Ilian Payne's parts.
Scenes and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. But as far as his backstory, I mean, the first time we see him is at the inn at the crossroads in the books, and he's, you know, hanging around like nonchalantly, but you got to think he was there on purpose, right?
I mean, you could, if you want to be a conspiracy theorist, who sent him there? Was it a setup from the beginning? Is he working for Varys? Is he working for someone in the background? It's quite possible. It hasn't been proven that he hasn't or anything like that. But I think that would just complicate things a little bit too much. So I don't really know if it would really go that route with it. You know what I mean? But I'm not here to say that it's not possible. It's not. He could have been sent there by someone else to get undeterred. It goes. Then you would have to believe that the whole Shay situation is suspect.
It's right, because Bronn brings Shay to Tyrion.
Yes. So
and it's like,
that could be, you know, are they all working for Varys? Is a prostitute or a Littlefinger? Is this what's going on from this whole situation at that whole particular time? I can't tell you that it's not. So as I said, there's nothing for me to tell you that that's not the case. So I just have to say it could happen. I don't know how likely it is, but it could possibly happen.
Jonathan Haymaker asked, "What's Bronn's last name?" And I think he says, "You wouldn't know him."
Yeah. that helps.
That's from the show.
That helps with the theory that it could be something else going on there. They're not telling you his last name.
Yeah, and the fact that in the show he was quoted as saying that he went north of the wall for work. What kind of work do you do north of the wall? You know,
how'd you get past? No, how'd you get there?
Yeah, exactly.
They do the night's watch, just let people go through. You come in, I want to go. Okay, see you later. You have to have a work visa.
No.
You got a work visa to get past the World War? Is that how it goes? I mean, I don't know how it goes there. What's that qualifications to get past the war?
Yeah, I definitely think that he's got to be one of the most suspicious people of all the characters, because he's so good at what he does, and to be alive doing that is pretty remarkable. And I think, no, I was just going to say, in the books, even he's just got a lot of loyalty to to his money, and now he's going to be the enemy of Cersei. Because of the Stokeworth situation. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, you got that Stokeworth situation she's got to deal with. She's going to have to deal with the Frey situation. And that house that she's disregarding, that she's not caring about. So she's not caring about a lot of things that are going to be situations for her. You know what I mean? The Iron Bank situation she's not caring about. A lot of different things she's not caring about that she should be caring about more than she is. And it's all going to come back to bite her in the end.
Yeah, I definitely think that as far as Cersei goes, for sure. As far as Bronn goes, I mean, why would he care if he got Castle Stokeworth or any other castle that Cersei gave him? It was just...
If it's a business deal, and he's all about the money. He's about the money. You know, and that even helps you to believe that he's working for somebody else if he's about the money, not just Tyrion.
Yeah. So can we talk a little bit about Cersei, since we've been talking about the other minor characters? Oh, before I do that, do you think Bronn is one of the leftover Tarbecks or Rains?
No.
Simple.
I mean, why? What's it going to do if he's one of them? Is he going to take over Castle Rock?
Well, just the fact that he's got a vengeful thought against the Lannisters.
No, they're dead.
That's what I say.
People don't like to think people are dead. You know, Rhaegar and these people, they're dead. They're gone.
Oh, yeah.
They're not coming back. It's not happening. I know people would love to see him and things like that, but it's not going down, man. These people are dead and dead for a reason. They have to be dead. If they were to be brought back, it would not be the same story. They're dead. They're out of here. That's it.
Well, I'm in agreement with you 100% on that. The reason why I brought it up is because they asked what was Braun's last name, and
You don't know.
I've heard that theory before, where Braun is a Tarbeck or a Rain.
You can make up any theory when you don't know the guy's last name. He could be a kettle black then, right? Right? You can put any last name on the guy. You know what I mean? But it just doesn't help it real quick.
I agree. I totally agree. So let's get on to Cersei. Obviously, she's one of the main characters, probably the most epic character, and I almost fell off my chair and died laughing when I saw your video about how you were trying to pull. You got that smile. I can see it. You know what I'm talking about. Where you're trying to get everybody to think that you're on Cersei's side, and it wasn't her fault.
It isn't her fault, God damn it. People, you know, and I'm gonna tell you this. Ever since I did that, all of a sudden, there's a whole bunch of Cersei fans out here.
I know, AirTouch and BBM.
What happened? Before it was just me. No, it's the same thing with Stannis. When I was repping Stannis, no one was repping Stannis. All of a sudden, I started repping him. All of a sudden, he became the most popular character. Moved over to Cersei. Now everyone loves Cersei too. I'm gonna have to start repping Walter Frey. At least maybe then people won't come over to him. But she is definitely a victim of influenza. She is definitely not to be blamed for her actions. She is not as bad as people give. Look at the stuff that she has. If you look at exactly what has happened to her, I mean, can some things she be accused of that she's not doing it? Yes, she gave women a Kyber. Yes, I'm not saying anything about that. But I'm saying the events that led up to her acting that way. You know, it's like people like to look at the symptoms, but they don't like to look at the cold. You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what it is with Cersei. You're looking at the end result, but what got her to that point? And you go through the things.
How far back do you want to go?
Cersei is no different than Sansa.
Oh, Cersei, no. Yeah, now you're...
It's the same situation. If you really look at it, Cersei grew up with the same exact dreams Sansa had. Same dreams. I'm going to marry a prince. I'm going to be queen. I'm going to this. All these beautiful dreams. I'm going to have beautiful Targaryen kids with gold hair, with silver streaks. And she grew up, and then her bubble got bursted. And she got reality. Smacked her in the face.
So was that reality that you're talking about before Maggie the Frog? Because you remember the memories of that she's telling us with Maggie the Frog is like there is no means that justify the ends for her.
The Maggie the Frog, I think right after Maggie the Frog helped it along, you know. But I think everything that happened after is really Robert Baratheon and all that stuff. You know, when you're considered the most beautiful woman, you gotta look at who she is. You know what I mean? This is the chick that is considered to be the most beautiful woman in all the Seven Kingdoms. So much to the point where her fucking Keevan, her pervy uncle, is over there saying in the last chapter, like, oh, Cersei, when she flowered, oh my God, have there ever been a more beautiful maiden? Motherfucker, what are you looking at your niece when she flowers for like that? Jesus Christ, Keevan. The hell are you? What was on your mind looking at her, Keevan? You know what I mean? It's making a statement like that. But, you know, it's the chick who was the most beautiful woman in the Seven Kingdoms. Her dad's the hand of the king, most richest guy in the thing, in the Seven Kingdoms. He tells her that she's going to get betrothed to Rhaegar, and then he never tells her why the betrothal didn't go through. So she's thinking there's something wrong with me. When really, the whole problem's with Tywin.
My problems with Cersei go back way before then. I mean, even before she's sleeping with her brother, okay? She's just a total deviant. And I mean that from like the real sincere part of it. Total deviant. I mean, her bedmaids, girlfriends, whatever you want to talk about sleeping with, She throws the girl down the well, like Jonathan was talking about earlier, at the Maggie the Frog prophecy. She's sleeping with her brother too. It's just so.
I mean, so you can explain a lot of things away if you have to look at it now. Sleeping with the brother, the Targaryens sleep with their people. So if she's thinking that she's on the same level of the Targaryens, when in Rome, we do like the Romans, right? So that's
but her
why.
parents told her, I mean, her mom separated them and told them never to do that again.
Yeah, but
so they were given instruction on how to behave.
She was told by her mom not to do it, but her mom didn't just bust a nut, right? So when
what does that mean?
Hey, I'm put it like this, right? If you're a man or whatever, woman, whatever it is, and you have someone that gives you an orgasm, you feel that orgasm for the first time in your life or whatever it is, regardless who ever gave it to you, whatever, and your mom says, hey, you're not allowed to have that feeling again, you're not listening.
That's not what she said. She just said you can't do it with your sister.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's where you got the feeling from. You don't know if that feeling is going to come from somebody else. You only did it one person. You're not sure. So that's why she was comfortable doing it there with that, So if, as I said, this is what's something in that time period, in this land that goes down. The Targaryens did it. The royals did it in England. The Blue Bloods and all this, what they did to keep the bloodlines pure. This is what you're saying. If it was good enough for the Targaryens, why isn't it good enough for me? That's her excuse. That's what she's going to use by it, right? And that's what she's going to stand by. So I think a lot of that's nothing to do with Jamie. I mean, Jamie's the one blowing his load in her. Why did he get her pregnant? Why didn't he pull out? And not just once, not just twice, but 3 times. You're not going to pull out, brother? Are you trying to get her killed? I mean, what are you doing here? You know what I mean? So, geez, I mean, you have to pull out if you're going to do it like that. Get out of there. So that's where I'm like, I think she's more of a victim than people think she is. I mean,
Yeah, I agree with Cheryl. She says that Cersei used sex to control Jamie, even as a youngster. I couldn't agree with you more, Cheryl. And I know that it's just so weird for me to to think that she has anything good in her whatsoever. It is just really weird.
I mean, look, did she squeeze Tyrion's dick or whatever when she was little? And
I wasn't even going there, but yeah.
I'm saying, but certain things that people do when they're children, you can't really take that to their adulthood with them. You know what I mean? When you're jealous, you're jealous. You're jealous. You get jealous and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you act out. And this is a person that, as soon as he was born, her mother was dead. So every day she looks at this guy's face, it reminds her that her mother's not around.
Right. I totally get the Tyrion hatred. I get that from a real person point of view. But as far as her other behaviors, she's just a total deviant. I mean, we're talking about let's talk about the books in regards to the later books. With Taina. I mean, she basically just used that girl, and even though they were friends, she was just basically using her.
That doesn't happen every day in everyone's life with friends.
But
why she got to be special? I mean, it happens to everybody else. Everyone has friends or people that they think are friends and they use them and everything else, but she does it, and now all of a sudden she's got to be the bad person. I think it happens. It's about a lot of people. A lot of people use a lot of people. You know what I mean?
But we don't see other characters using other people like that and thinking it's okay, right?
No, I'm not saying that. Well, Varys uses everybody, and all the Littlefinger uses everyone. We're not saying they think it's okay. I'm sure they think it's okay for their things. You know what I mean? But that's what it really is and stuff.
Cheryl says, if you can't keep it in your pants, keep it in the family. That's just too funny. That's too funny.
Listen, all right, so let me break it down. Something like this. Back in the days, when you're dealing with back in the days time periods, like you're dealing with that, like slavery. In our history, it would be like slavery times. You would see a lot of slaves or people that were related as cousins and stuff marrying each other and stuff.
Right.
Because when you're limited in an area and when there's no public transportation, when there's no roads but a dirt road, when there's no street lights outside, 10 miles is a big area to cover. 5 miles is a big area to cover. So you see a lot
of Dragon says you still have a little bit of a mic issue, and I do hear some scratchiness, but
is it really?
Yeah.
No, well, I'm sorry. I don't know why it would be. I have a great connection, so I have no idea why that would be at all. But we're gonna run this for a little bit longer. I mean, I can go upstairs and change mics and probably get it better, but I'm not going to do that right now.
No worries.
And stuff like that. But
it's not enough to keep me from watching.
Yeah. So, I think it's a situation like that when you're dealing with, old school situation. You're dealing with these Amish people up here, A lot of these Amish people, date their cousins and all this stuff because these are the people they're around. You fall in love with who you see.
Exactly. You have a limited pool of people that you're interacting with on a regular basis.
I think it's more of a situation to deal with that than anything else. You know what I mean?
Phoenix Slayer 999. Nice. All right. So yeah, Cersei's one of those characters that I love Lena Headey as far as the way she plays her because she makes you want to hate her. You know what I mean? I just think that she's done a great job with the character, and I think that she was better suited for this role than probably anyone else. And I know in your recast, you had a little bit of a different person, but I don't think it was too far off.
No, it wasn't too far. Did I recast her? I recast her with the woman from Camelot, I think.
Yeah, it was the mom, the one that was it wasn't Lady. Was it Lady Guinevere? She was on Camelot.
No, not Guinevere. That's I have her recast as somebody else though. I haven't done that one yet, but I do have. I haven't done the recasting date in a little bit. I should probably kind of get it over with and stuff.
Do those for the slow times. Right now, everything's hyped. So. Yeah.
People if people just want to talk about the show right now, so we just talk about the show and do all that situation.
I have been rereading the books constantly, and I do a lot of driving for work, so I do most of it on audio, and really fallen in love with Roy Dotrice and his mispronunciation of fun names like Brian and.
Brian. Is that the wrong way? Is that the right way? I don't know. Is he saying it right and everyone else is saying it wrong? I liked him. I like him better than the other guy. Everyone talks like the other guy about, Roy Dotrice makes all these crazy name and voices up. I like it.
I love it, actually.
He played the pyromancer, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, he was in the Beauty and the Beast original series that George wrote back in the 80s. And that's how they met.
I will say that Ian Glenn did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
The
Road Prince. Yeah.
Did a real good job doing that stuff. He did a real good job.
And it's got an old medieval feel, much more so than the Game of Thrones or A Song of Ice and Fire series, with Ian doing that. And I think it's a much simpler story too.
Yes, it is. He's very good at it. He's very good narrator.
Mm-hmm.
If I did a book, I would love to have him do it. I would take a woman voice. I like women with British accents. I'd probably get a British accent woman to read my books.
Well, if you wrote an adult book, you know whose voice you got to use.
Who's that?
Monero.
Monero's voice, where the pages be sticking together. People want to be able to use the book and stuff like that with her. I would say she's just as lovely as in person as her voice sounds.
I bet.
Very nice. Yes,
I bet.
Very good to look at. Very nice person. Very nice to hang out with.
One of my favorite videos on the 30-day challenge was Monero. She brought a lot of wisdom to the conversation that I wasn't expecting, and I mean that sincerely. It was just very
You know,
real life stuff.
Mhm. She knows her bullshit, and she's lived her life, and she's lived a good life, and she's got a lot of experience, and you know, she's not afraid to share it. And as long as people who have lived their life not afraid to share their experiences out there, it just helps other people. You know what I mean? That's what I try to do on my channel. When I do like Teflon, I tell you things that happened to me in my life. I don't say this to say if I want to hear it. I say this in case someone else has gone through something similar. Maybe they don't think that other people gone through it and how I dealt with it, and maybe they can help them in some way get through it.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's had it pretty rough too. It's not like she hasn't had a lot of obstacles to overcome.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's good to have people like that sharing their wisdom.
And she's still standing, baby. You know, still standing. She's still standing, and that's the bottom line.
So let's talk about your favorite character.
Uh-oh.
Jon Snow. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Stannis. Let's talk about Stannis.
All right.
So one of the things that the people in the audience probably don't know is that me and you have disagreed on many characters and a lot of theories and stuff like that. And I love the fact that we disagree, because it makes me think about what my process is for coming up with theories and my opinions of the characters, and I appreciate that about you. And if I haven't said this enough, I really appreciate the fact that you've started plowing through this whole YouTube Game of Thrones stuff way before any of us, and we owe a lot to you. So if I haven't said that, thank you for doing that. It's been an honor listening to you and watching your videos with all the channels, whether it's James Johnson or BarTube or your channel. Doesn't matter. I always enjoy your opinion.
Well, thank you. I really do appreciate you saying that. And you know, it is what it is. As I said, I try to Stannis is my dude, and I gotta defend him no matter what. And that's just the way it's going down. That's just the way it is. You know, gotta defend him. I can't defend the daughter burning, and I won't defend that. I'll defend everything else.
Well, I don't agree with that. That's the way it's going down either. But we have a lot in common in regards to Game of Thrones and YouTube. In my life, I walk around with a lot of Christian brothers that if they read the books with me, they probably would burn me at the stake for being, you know, such a lover of pornography, as they would say. And you in your real life, you know, a lot of the people don't follow Game of Thrones or A Song of Ice and Fire, and so we have a lot of that in common. So it's good to share on YouTube. But as far as Stannis goes, I've never been a really big Stannis fan, and I appreciate the fact that you are, because he is one of the people that Ned, who is one of my favorite characters, said deserves to be the rightful throne holder. And he went through a lot to get that information to Stannis. One of the things that I would like to know from you is, why do you think Stannis actually left King's Landing when he did, before Aaron died?
Yeah, when he killed. I mean, obviously he had the bounce and stuff, but he didn't know what was going on. You know what I mean? You got to look at it. All he knows is that him and Jon Arryn were investigating Robert Baratheon's bastards, and Jon Arryn wound up dead. Why wouldn't he be the next one to wind up dead? You know what I mean? If you're with somebody and you're investigating something with somebody, and next thing you know that person's dead, you're getting the fuck out of Dodge too. He has no protection there. So I go back to Dragonstone. Now we see in the show exactly how Dragonstone is. You know what I mean? It's a whole island that's protecting you. So why wouldn't you go there and just get that protection and go back to where you were at? And that's what he did. He had no choice but to do that. It was a smart move. He's gonna stay there and get killed like Ned Stark. You know, you ain't gonna do that. You gotta go, and that's it. He bounced and he got out of there as soon as he had to get out of there. And it worked.
Do you think it was because, besides that, that Dragonstone was very close to King's Landing, and he could have easily come back?
That's his spot. I mean, if he was ruler of Storm's End, he would have went to Storm's End. But he was the ruler of the Dragonstone, so he wants the Dragonstone.
Do you think that was probably his biggest mistake, or do you think that was his smartest decision?
It was a smart decision for him to do it. It's probably his biggest mistake, is not exposing the whole situation. And when we had a chance to expose it with Jon Arryn being alive, you know what I mean? I think that was probably the biggest thing. When they had the deals and they knew what they were doing, Jon Arryn and him, they should have went to Robert with that whole situation right off the bat. But instead, was Robert going to kill his brother and kill Jon Arryn, his father figure? I don't think so. So, you know what I mean? Cersei have that much sway over him? I don't think so. But I think it would have been better for him to have done that. That's what they should have done. They shouldn't have searched for more proof. They should have just took what they had and went with it.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I got to get someone on the door. Let me get this door.
Yeah, take it. So yeah, Stannis and I have never seen eye to eye, except for the fact that, like I said earlier, that he was one that Ned definitely wanted to be on the throne, and it could have been a decision that Ned made under the milk of the poppy and the fact that he was so out of it from his broken leg, being under the horse and that sort of thing. But even in the show with the stabbing, he was obviously in a lot of pain. Definitely not making the right decisions, but could have done. I think if Stannis would have stayed there, the story would have ended a lot differently. Yeah, exactly. I think if Ned and Stannis were together and had that decision, shown to Robert, Robert would have left Cersei in a heartbeat. I don't think it would have hurt the realm as much. Yeah, definitely. I agree, George. Cersei wasn't happy with the fact that she couldn't pull his strings like Tony pulls ours. Plexi, not a problem. We've had to go back and forth on my channel and now Tony's channel, so not a problem at all.
Mm-hmm. No problem, Plexi. We all good.
Just no retracts. That's all I ask. So we were just talking about Stannis and his decision to go to Dragonstone, and what would have happened if he would have stayed.
As I said, he didn't know what happened. He didn't know that how Jon Arryn died. He thought that that Cersei Lannister and them killed him. So probably nothing would have happened to him at that particular time because they wouldn't have been able to poison him like he got poisoned. There was no way to get to him, but he didn't know that. You know what I mean? He didn't know how he really died. He thought that he died through the crown. So he plotting against the crown and Cersei Lannisters and killing people, then that's why he had to get out of there.
So after he goes to Dragonstone, obviously, he gets the idea that he's going to tell everybody instead of just people in King's Landing of what happened with Jaime. Do you think that was the right thing to do as well, or do you think he could have gotten now that Joffrey was in charge and basically on the throne? Do you think he would have been able to coax him into anything, or do you think he would have been just the brat that he was with Stannis?
There's no getting to Joffrey Baratheon at all with Stannis at that particular time because Joffrey is being controlled by Cersei and Tywin. How's he going to have any sway over him at all? You know what I mean? He wasn't going to have any. It wasn't like he was, oh, my uncle Stannis. I don't even know if they even had any type of relationship or anything, but any relationship they wouldn't have, it wouldn't have been anything compared to the relationship he had with his mother and Tywin Lannister. So there'd been no way around that situation. He had to tell everyone because unlike Ned Stark, you're not just going to keep it secret and let a couple of people know. I'm going to tell the whole realm. So the whole realm. Once it's kind of like being called like a child molester. You know what I mean? Once you're called a child molester,
Yeah.
That's it. Doesn't matter if you did it, if you didn't. Everyone is going to question it before they leave you with their kid. Even if you get told that you didn't do it. If that is attached to your name at any point, if someone's going to leave their kid around you, they're going to question that. They have to. That's just being a good parent. You know what I mean? I mean, look at Michael Jackson. I don't know what happened there. I love his music. I don't know what happened there. I don't want to think about it.
I don't want to. Yeah, let's not associate Michael Jackson and Stannis.
No, exactly. I don't want to think about it. But I'm just saying that once you get accused of something, that's it. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter how much celebrity you got. Once you get accused of it, that's it.
Yeah, I would think Tyrion and Joffrey's relationship would be the same as Stannis and Joffrey's, as far as him listening to him or taking counsel.
Well, I think Stannis, he probably had a closer relationship with Tyrion than he did Joffrey. I mean, if Tyrion felt like comfortable to smacking him and stuff like that, it looks like he's around him a lot more than Stannis is around him.
Yeah, I agree. So what was it that made you such a big Stannis fan?
Everyone else hated him.
Yeah.
And that's basically really what it was. Everyone was in love with Dany. They were in love with the Starks and everything else. And I read the books, and I had to find a character that I liked that no one else liked. And I picked Stannis because no one liked him at the time, and just turned around all of a sudden. But, I just think that when you look at Game of Thrones, the book series itself, and A Song of Ice and Fire, and you look at everything that it offers, I think Stannis is the one character that embodies everything that the show offers. If you're talking about magic, if you're talking about backstabbing, if you're talking about betrayal, if you're talking about all these things, you can get all those things in dealing with Stannis Baratheon. So everything that encompasses the whole Song of Ice and Fire thing, I think it's really in that character. So I think that's the reason, the biggest reason why I like him is that. You know what I mean? And, I look at myself as, I'm a second child myself, second son. I understand what it is to be in that situation and be overlooked and be like that, and to once be the baby and then not be the baby after that, and how it becomes and how it affects you and everything else. So
I get that.
I know it is, I know exactly the way it is. Like my brother was a known thug around my way. And if you met him now to this day, you would never think it because he's such a nice guy. But growing up in Queens, he was as big of a thug as you get. He beat the shit out of so many people that everyone just expected me to be able to do the same shit. And I had people that he kicked their ass and when he kicked my ass because he beat them up. And so it just got me to the point where I had no choice but to be tough. I had no choice but to, and I was a small dude growing up. My whole life I was small. Not like I'm a huge guy, When I was in 12th grade, I wrestled 119 pounds. I went to states for that, and I lost in states, but I went to states. But I wrestled 119 pounds in 12th grade, and I made that weight easy. I'm even able to go down to the weight below and to dominate people down there. When I used to box with PAL, I used to box all little dudes. Everyone's so small. They used to call me like the Mexican assassin, about Tony the Body Snatcher Bowers. I used to knock these dudes out. And they were just all, because I was tall. I was 5'10", but I was skinny and small, and I hit really hard. I'm very heavy-handed. But the guys who weighed the weight I weighed were real tiny. So I used to knock the shit out of these people all the time and stuff like that. So that's what it is when you're living in your brother's shadow and you have no choice but to be. Because that's just the way it is, you know what I mean? Especially when your brother's a brute and beats the shit out of everyone, you know what I mean? People just expect you to fall in line that you're the next person up, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what it be. If your brother is that big drug dealer, next up is you. You the next drug. You the next dude to take it over. That's what people expect you around the way. And that's what it is,
Yeah, I'm the oldest, so that's probably one of the reasons why I have a hard time understanding Stannis as much as you do. But in regards to his character, he does have a lot to bring. And one of the things that I really am disappointed with is none of the Baratheons have a point of view. Were you surprised that George had no Baratheon point of view?
I think it just gives away too much to really put them in there like that. You know what I mean? I think it's more than that than anything else. You know what I mean? I just don't think there's certain people you can't give their point of views to, that they just know a little bit too much. I think that's what really it fell down. He says there's going to be no new point of views and wins a win, and I'm going to have to take his word at it.
Sure.
But I mean, see, I like seeing Stannis through Davos's eyes and other people's eyes. I like that. I really do.
Yeah.
I think it fits it better. It would make him look too conceited to show it through his own eyes, because it would just make it look like he's too demanding, like he deserves everything.
Well, I think Davos is such a true person that he would give you a much more accurate depiction of his character than if it was a point of view.
Yes. I don't like the fact that Davos always calls him the king. Yes.
He does have the best sidekick of any character out there.
He's the funniest guy in the show. He's hilarious. Everything he says. Lord, too fat to sit a horse, too fat to come to me. That's hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. Too fat to come to me. That's hilarious. He's the funniest guy in the fucking show, without a doubt. Both of the Baratheon brothers are funny. But Rippling Stannis is the funniest dude in the show. His one-liners are the best one-liners in the whole show.
So I don't know if you got a chance to watch the interview I did with Maester Payne, but on that video, he introduced a theory of Stannis being actually the bastard of Tywin Lannister, or being a bastard. And I brought up the fact that they had a lot of similarities on their looks of the artistic depictions. What do you think of that as a possibility, being that the Baratheons are such a strong gened bloodline?
They can't. I mean, how is he? He's got black hair like every other Baratheon. Tywin Lannister don't have blonde hair, so I just don't see it jiving that way. In all honesty, I mean, look, they're both military commanders, but so is Randall Tarly. He's not related to Randall Tarly, right? So,
but you got to admit that Tywin and Stannis's dad and Aerys were pretty tight. Right?
Yeah, I'm going to say that you definitely can see them being pretty tight, but I just don't see how nothing saying that Stannis' mother is a thought that's fucking everybody. I think that, I think that what happens, and I'm going to say this happens in the gay community a lot too. And I think it happens in this show a lot too, that people just assume people are fucking people. Like, people assume like if there's a gay guy comes in the house, like he wants to fuck you. Just because he's gay doesn't mean he wants to fuck you.
Yeah, I wasn't jumping that far.
I'm just saying in general. That's the way people act. Like if you're gay, gotcha. You're some sex. You fuck anything. You're just gonna fuck everybody and gonna go through everyone and all this stuff. And I think that's the way they treat these women in this show, like Lyanna Stark and Stannis' mother. Now, all these women is willing to drop their fucking pants for anyone who comes calling.
Yeah.
Some people got respect for themselves, and stuff like that. So I just think it's like that, and people get caught up in the situation. There's nothing there that says that Stannis' mom is getting down like that, or she wasn't happy in her relationship, or anything like that.
Right. Really, all we know about her is that she was a Florent. I mean, that was about it. So not a big reveal there. But we do know that Tywin's a little bit more of a deviant than what we expected. We always think of him being the one that never sleeps around. I mean, he never smiles, obviously. But as soon as Tyrion's out of the way, he's in bed with Shay.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of hypocrites. I think that's what they wanted to show, that he was a little hypocrite on the situation. I'm not fucking a prostitute. Well, I am if no one's watching. You know what I mean? It's just like big women. You know what I'm saying? People may say, I ain't gonna hit that. I ain't gonna hit that. I ain't fucking with that. I ain't fucking with that. When everyone goes around, and then that chick starts walking away,
Walk of
and
shame.
you see that dude running down the block, like, shorty, 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 shorty. Hey, you know what I mean? In situations like that, you know what I mean? Everyone's been there. You've been embarrassed. It's like Friday, you know, the movie Friday when Chris Tucker meets that chick. He's supposed to be like Janet Jackson. And all of a sudden he sees her. He's like, you know, don't ever come back around here if you want to see me again. Yeah. He didn't say don't come back around here. I ain't talking to you. Just don't come back around here. I'll talk to you later. You know,
Later.
like that, you know? And there are women who deal with dudes like that, you know? I know chicks that I'm friends with. They would say, you know, after she was my friend, she would always say, I don't want to say her name, but she was always like, you know, they're telling there's city dick and there's country dick. You know, country dick is just a big no good dick. That's dick that gets you in debt. That's dick that'll get your eyes shut and punched in the face, but it's a big dick and it's good dick, you know. Those are things that you have your thing with, but you can't get attached to, you know. And in situations like that, that's what I think it is.
Slump busters. That's funny. Never heard that before. Oh, so yeah, I would. Tywin is one of those guys that you want to think he's a good guy because of his background and the fact that, you know, he was always loyal, or what seemed to be loyal, to Joanna. But I just don't see that being the true case. But
I'm gonna ask you, AU. You know rich people? I'm sure
sure.
You're rich yourself.
Yeah, I'm in Seattle. We're around a lot of rich people.
Right. Have you ever known a faithful rich guy? I mean, in all honesty.
Yeah, actually I have. But
I mean, faithful rich people don't really go hand in hand. Most people are as faithful as their options. And when you're rich, you have a lot more options. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
So usually when you look at rich people, and you said, I'm sure you said you mentioned one that's faithful and rich. I'm sure you have. I'm sure there's guys out there, but the majority of people that are that rich and get that much poo-tang thrown at them their whole life aren't that faithful. You know what I mean?
I got you. Yeah. I got you.
That's just the way it goes. So if Tywin is that rich and he's growing up as a Lannister, and the Lannisters already know. I mean, you grow up you're in these small towns. Like I'm out here right now in these small towns, and you get that last name. Like out here, the last name is Logan, and every girl wants to marry a Logan because they're the big family last name. They're the old money last name. You know, their family's been, and old money is different from new money. I know people don't think that there's a difference there.
Oh, it's huge.
It truly is a difference. There truly is a difference. You can make $1 billion tomorrow, and someone can have $20 million, but their family has maintained that for 100 years. That person is getting more respect than you, which is good. This old money means something, and Lannisters are old money from way back. I mean, when you're in there and people are saying you're rich as a Lannister, that's it. People understand that that's what it is, and that's what they want to be associated with. You know what I mean? So when you have old money like that, it's hard for me to think that Tywin Lannister was he just was with this one chick his whole life, and that's the only chick he was ever with.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely different, new money and old money, because you have that assurance that no matter what happens, I'm still going to be rich tomorrow or 2 weeks from now or whatever, whereas new money, you just have that feeling that it could go away just as easy as it came.
Yeah, my old money is respect because it's been there for generation after generation after generation, and it's passed down. And the contacts that your grandfather, great-grandfather, and everyone else made, they all roll over to you.
Yep, I agree. Getting back to Stannis, can you tell me what do you think? I think what you've said in all your videos basically is that Jon's parts have been given to Stannis because of the show, the popularity of Kit Harington, et cetera, et cetera. So that being said, do you think Stannis will die like the show has portrayed after the battle?
No, I think that he's going to die. Of course, after he takes Winterfell, I think he's definitely going to take Winterfell. His plan is to meet up with to hook up with White Harbor because he needs that place so he can refuel. That's what he wants. He's doing all this so we can get White Harbor. I think it's possible for him to pick up White Harbor and get into White Harbor. And at some point, I said this in a video a long time ago, I think he's going to try to take Casterly Rock. And I think that he's going to get burned alive by Euron Greyjoy, who will have a dragon when he tries to take Casterly Rock.
Wow.
Because I think that Cersei Lannister is going to lose King's Landing and be forced to retreat to Casterly Rock.
I agree.
From Aegon. And then Dany's not going to go to Casterly Rock. She's going to confront Aegon. That's all going to be that situation. While Cersei's in Casterly Rock, I think Stannis will then, with the Manderleys, try to attack her then. Euron with the Dragonhawk comes and saves the day. I think that's what goes down there.
Well, say what you will about Stannis. One of the things that's really cool about him as far as his decision-making, in my opinion, was going to the Wall and trying to help the Night's Watch. I think that was a pretty epic battle. I got to see that in the IMAX theater, episode 4.9, I think it was.
How was that?
Oh,
I want to ask you a question real quick.
Yeah.
Before that, how was your daughter's performance?
It's one of those things that you sit through 100 or 1,000 dance recitals, and then you see her do it for a living. It is just the most magical thing. And then for her to be at Disneyland doing it, which is one of her lifelong dreams, it's just a miracle. It's just I don't really have a lot of words to say, but that was one of the best moments of my life.
I hear you. I mean, my daughter, when she was doing her cheerleading thing for the basketball team and all that, and the first time I went out there and seen her doing it, like I used to watch her practice in the house, and doing splits and doing everything else, and doing the arm movers and everything else, and playing around with her sister and everything. And then when I actually went out there and seeing her doing it, you know what I mean? It's like it hurts. Like it's a beautiful thing, but it's like my baby's too big. You know what I mean? It's like so it hurts, and it feels it's a good hurt. You know what I mean? But it hurts because it's like a letting go. Like she's grown up now. She's not that child that I wish she stayed forever. That's me being jealous. That's me being stingy and not wanting her to grow up and stuff like that. But when you said that's what I thought of when you were saying. I was like, wow, probably saying exactly. I loved it and it was beautiful and everything else, and brought tears to my eyes. But then I'm looking at her. Wait a second, she got her shorts. That's a little short dress right there. These dudes looking at here. Why is she kicking her legs up so high? Why do you gotta go that high? Not a goddamn rocket. What's going on? Who teaches me these routines?
So cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's it's been one of those things where my wife and I just have followed her for so long and supported her. Now it's really coming to fruition. So yeah, it would be. Yeah, there's no really way to put it into words.
Yeah, it really is. It's just a smile. It's like a biggest smile as you can get, and that's what it really is. There's no words for it. It's just a feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
No words for that feeling. It's just a feeling of accomplishment. It's a feeling of joy. It's a feeling of sadness. It's a feeling of everything. It's a myriad of emotions that's hard to explain.
Iron Throne says, "Give us your top 200 characters, our favorite characters." I actually have been talking about 30 characters that I have on my list for season 7 that are still alive, that are in the books also. So we've been covering most of those. So it would take us about a week to do 200, but
yeah, I was a Stark fan. I love the Starks, but the fact that they got killed off so fast after the Red Wedding, when I read that book, that's what really made me start not liking the Starks. Because I was like, these motherfuckers die like nothing. It's like they just keep dying. My heart can't take it. I can't cheer for them anymore. And that was it. I remember when I read Red Wedding, that book went right across the room.
Yeah.
Right.
How could you do that? How could you do that?
It's because I seen it coming, pages, chapters. I've seen it coming, and I knew it was going to go down. I knew it, and I seen it fucking coming, and I was like, this fucking guy's not that stupid. And then you keep reading, and you're like, really? Come on, man, really? You don't see this setup coming a mile away? I mean, it's like the wrestler with the steel chair, and the guy cheering, got his head ear to the ring. You can see it coming. And then when it just hits, it's just like, motherfucker, really? Really? All of them you had to kill? Everybody? You had to really wipe them all out? Fuck you, George R. R. Martin. Fuck everyone else. That's the way it felt. So that's why I was more towards Status in the Star. But I'm going to start, my second favorite character is Arya Stark. That's my second one. And the way I'm looking at it, I'm hoping Arya survives the whole thing. I got a good feeling she will survive. I just don't think both George's favorite character, Tyrion, and Arya, and his wife's favorite character are going to die. I think he's going to save one of them at least.
Yeah, I mean, if your wife's favorite character is Arya, I mean, you got to have a feeling she's going to make it, right?
Yeah, I have to think she's got to make it. Right? I just don't see the purpose of her dying what that serves.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you killed everyone else. Are you going to kill every male line of the Stark and just have the female line left? I mean, is that what you're going for here? Because that's basically where you're at right now. You know what I mean? You're basically at the point where Jon Snow is going to be looked at as a Targaryen, not a Stark anymore. You got Bran who can't have sex anymore. If Rickon's story holds true to what it is, that Shaggy Dog story, it's going nowhere. They're basically leaving only Stark female lines alive.
Yep. That's another point that I didn't bring up earlier, is that your Direwolf association with the owners of the Direwolves video was just epic. I just thought that was great. Yeah, really great points. And Shaggy Dog, I had never heard that term before in regards to literature.
When I did that video, I'm going to give a shout out to my girl Bartu. When I did that video, and I came up with all of them, I had all the other dogs. The Shaggy Dog was the one that was holding me up, and that's why I didn't post the video, because I couldn't really figure out anything. And It was Bar 2, I think I said in the video, it was Bar 2 that told me that Shaggy Dog is a story that leads nowhere. And I was like, are you serious? She was like, yes, it is. I was like, that fits perfect. I was like, that's what I need. That makes it over. I was like, thank you so much. And that's how I did the video. I put that video right after. After I did that, I think 10 other people put the same thing out. But that's what did it. And thank you to Bar that came out. I wouldn't have had that video. I had everything else worked out, but I did not have the Shaggy Dog one worked out. And she is the one who put me on with that.
Very cool. Yeah, she definitely has a book connection that I appreciate a lot. Where was I going?
Oh, well, while you're thinking, let me give shout outs to my people in the chat.
Okay.
I see you up in here. Staffa, Sailor Diva, the She-Wolves of Winterfell. Oh, man can dance, yo. You see, that's what I'm telling you. When I say it, people start laughing. I'm not bullshitting. I know I'm funny. I know I make jokes. I'm not joking when I say this shit. I'm dead the fuck ass. Old man breaks the fuck down on the dance floor. For real. She don't fuck around on the dance floor. She was the best dancer out of every person besides myself. I'm not talking about me. I'm a man now. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the women, and even now the dudes there besides me. By far, and I'm not even saying it was a contest. It was not close. It's not close. She was by far had more soul than anyone in that motherfucking place. Period. And that's the bottom line. I ain't even trying. No one can tell me no different. I wish I would have recorded. I really do. I wish I should have recorded. I mean, they put a circle around him and say, "Go Ned, go Ned, go Ned, go Ned." I mean, that ass. This is what's going on because she was breaking it down with the king and everything.
Sweet.
That ass. That's my homegirl right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out to my man Lord Dom Snow. Shout out to George Santoro. Shout out to what's that say? The Mediate Mormont. What's that say? Mediterranean.
Meridian Mormont.
Meridian Mormont. Mediterranean. What am I looking at? God damn it. I got no doubt about it. No, there was no doubt. And she should have won on there. Should have won best costume there, I think too. I thought her costume was the best. She came in second, but she should have got first place.
So do you think, going back to Stannis, is he going to have any kind of a legacy?
Oh yeah. It all depends how he dies, what he's going to be known as. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to and stuff. It's going to be sad because, you know, obviously I do believe he's going to die. His daughter's going to die. It's really not going to be a true line for the Baratheons. But they usurped their line to begin with. So it would only be fitting if their line got usurped in the end and lost it all. But I don't know if he's going to have any lasting legacy that he'll be known as in the show or anything. You know, the king who never was or something like that, if anything.
That would be too bad.
And stuff like that. That's the way I would say it. Now to say my mic has got static again.
Yeah, it's been that way the whole time. About halfway through the video, it started getting staticky.
It makes no sense because I have the hookup. My internet connection is off the chart right now.
Yeah.
No reason for it to even be going anything like that, but it is what it is. It must be. Maybe it's my computer. I have an older computer. Maybe I need to upgrade my computer or something like that. Maybe that's what it is.
I wouldn't worry about it too much. Like I said, it's not going to keep me from watching you. So.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm sorry for anyone that did that. You know, I try to take care of these problems, and I guarantee when the pregame show starts, I'll get through it because I'll have my regular microphone here, and that's what we're going to use. What up to my man LT Giles who just showed up in the building?
Love LT, man. Yeah, very cool.
Fucking man.
Very cool.
Yeah, wiggle the wire a little bit. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Let me see. I'll try to mess with something real quick. There we go. All right, I'm back. How's that sound? Is that better?
Holy smokes, that's 10 times better.
Is it really?
Yeah, 10 times.
Oh, I just turned it off and turned it back on. Just said so.
Oh, wow. That worked perfst.
Yeah, I just turned it off and turned it right back on. That's it. That's the way it is.
All right. So staying on Stannis, like I said, Davos Seaworth is probably one of the greatest sidekicks ever. What do you think his end game is going to be? Since obviously if Stannis dies, do you think Davos is going to die with him?
I don't know if he's going to die with him, but I don't think that Davos will have the same exact roles that they're showing in the show right now. I don't think that he's going to go that long and be Jon Snow's guy. I think Jon Snow is going to have his guy. I mean, maybe it's possible because Sam could be in the Citadel or something like that. Because basically, Davos is just performing the role that Sam is doing. Will Sam be Jon's maester, Grand Maester, or more of the hand of the king? You know what I mean? It's not like Sam is going to be a maester by the time he gets out of that Citadel. He's not going to stay there that long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's quite possible. If anything, I would think that Sam would be more of Jon's hand of the king when it's all said and done.
Well, I'm talking more about Davos.
Yeah, I'm saying. So for that reason, I don't think that he would be with Jon Snow in that capacity. So I think that's most likely that Davos will die at some point.
Wow. Okay. Because in the books, I mean, he's pretty close to dying at the Manderley's castle, right?
Well, I don't know if he's fearful of dying. They're not doing anything to kill him, but he's fearful of being killed. He's already considered dead by
Right,
the
because they
crowd
faked it. Yep.
and everything else. So, you know, he's been in death a couple of times. You know, in the Battle of Blackwater, he almost died. He didn't die. This is another time that he could have died. He should have died. He's not. He could die going to Stagos. That may not pan out.
Speaking of dying, I'm going to ask one more question, if that's okay with you, and then we'll cut it off if that's okay.
Yeah.
So, Bloodraven gets his eye poked out. Bran gets thrown off of a tower. Like you said, Davos practically gets killed at Blackwater. Is death in this show really death, or is it just a temporary way that we could be conscious?
I guess it is exactly what you said. You know, I think that's what it goes for in life too, and that we live right now. No one knows what death really is. We don't know. We don't know if you're dead. Are you really dead? Is there a soul that comes out? Is there a spiritual plane? Is there anything like that? It's really only way to know is to die. Right. So
and then it's a little late.
Yeah, there's no way to tell anyone. Like I used to always tell my kids' mom, like I have this habit. And if I ever have another girlfriend, if you ever get a chance to live with me, my girlfriend, then don't get mad at me. But I don't close cabinets. Like if I go and get a glass of water, I'll leave the cabinet door open. If I get a bowl, I leave the cabinet open. I never close cabinets, ever. I don't know why. I just don't do it. And I always told her, I was like, if I die and you come home and your cabinets are open, then you know it's me trying to communicate. I was like,
that's a great story.
I said, that's what I do.
That's a great story.
Come back. I said, if I'm dead before you, and I will open your cabinets, and you'll know that there's an afterlife. If that ever happens, then you'll definitely know. That's how I'll tell you. That's it, So I think it's more of a situation like that,
So Patchface is the same way.
Patchface I'm going to do a video on that with Don the Kraken Wit, so I'm not going to get too much away on that. But Patchface is a different situation than I would think dealing with. I mean, Davos, if you want to say he drowned in that water and was reborn, that's not the same as Patchface being underneath the water for all these days. I will say this: you got to look at someone else who's done the same exact situation, and the only hint I will say is that, and that's Makoro, right? That's what we see. I think if you can take that right now and run with it, but I'll give you the details in the video. But think about that. Makoro's the only other person that was able to do that. So look at Patchface's situation as that. Draw that parallel, and then go look at, and then take back a look at Patchface. And you'll see, look, fuck it, I'll just talk about it right. I mean, if you really look at the situation, I won't go into all of it, but look at what Patchface does, what Makoro does. What do? They give prophecies, all this Red God situation. It's all connected. And if you really look at it, that is exactly what's going on here with Patchface. It's basically a Red God situation going on there. But I have to get more into that in the video.
Yeah, that'll be great. That's a good way to end it. Speaking of ending it, make sure after this you go over to the GoFundMe page and click that link that's in the description and send some love to Tony so you can go down to the new con. I'd really appreciate that. And then after that, go check out Don Willie at Dawn of Ice and Fire. He's doing a live stream, so definitely want to see that as well.
Yeah, Don Willie's thing should be starting soon, I would think too. It's not going to be too much longer. So please, everyone here, let's go over to Don of Ice and Fire, check him out and give him watch his video that's coming on tonight. If you want some more Game of Thrones going on there, you know, I want you to hit that thumbs up if you can, you know what I mean? So we can get some more thumbs up there. And definitely, you know, if you can spare it, if it's not going to break you, if it's not going to hurt you in any way, then please go to my go to my GoFundMe. Get the Don to the Con, help me out. I would never ask about for anything, but as I said, I just moved. I just opened up my own business and trying to be successful, trying to be someone that my daughters can be proud of, that they can say that's my dad right there who started this whole situation. Not saying they aren't already, but you know, that's what I'm doing. That's my real reason doing this business that I started and stuff, just trying to leave them something that I can leave them with a legacy. And that's why I'm doing it. And that's why I did it. And it cost me more than I thought, put my whole savings into it and stuff like that. And right now, it just wouldn't be feasible for me, responsible for me to go to that con and spend all that money after I have all this money out. Not that I'm not going to spend money. So anything that you can give to help offset the cost is really helpful to me. It really does. I really, truly do appreciate it. And I promise you what I'm going to do is this. If I get to that con, I'm already going to be on the panel with some people from HBO. I get autographs, people, from anybody. I always get the autograph. I will go through. I will get all the autographs from every celebrity person there. And I will give away, whoever puts money up, I will take the names that the people have put the money up. I will do a live stream. And I'll give away that autographed picture of them of the con that I get from all those people there to the person, to anyone who donates anything. It doesn't matter how much you donate or anything like that. Just to all the people who have donated, just to say thank you very much for helping me get out there and stuff like that. I really do appreciate it. So if you can't help me out, I do appreciate it if you do help me out. You know what I mean? Because you know we got to get the Don up in there. It's a blessing that after all these years of me doing this, I've been in this game for a long time. I really only got the con because of you people put the street team effort in on the Song of Ice and Fire con of the Con of Thrones, and hit them up so much that they had no choice but to recognize me. And it's all because of you guys. You know what I mean? That's the bottom line. So I won't let you down when I get down there. I will hold people's feet to the fire, and you know it won't just be the average stuff that you would see from other YouTubers who just go and give you the standard answer. You know I'm going to bring it in, and that's the way it's going to be when I get down there. I'm going to hold it down, you know. So I definitely do appreciate anyone who has already donated, anyone who's going to donate. And as I said, it doesn't matter if it's $1 or 50 cents. I take it all, and I'll use it all, and it all helps me out. So I truly do appreciate it. I appreciate AU Packmule for coming on to Teflon TV, doing his 30th day live stream on here with me. We'll have to get back to AU's channel when that's all when it's all said and done. You know what I mean? And get him and have the stream on his channel when it's all working and stuff like that. Will I dress up? I'll be dressed up in my normal gear like I normally dress up, so I'll always be dressed to the nine.
Dapper Don.
You know, but as no doubt about it. But as for like in a costume, no, I won't wear a costume. You know what I mean? I do have a sword though. I have the sword right here. Hold on, let me grab it for you real quick. Grab it. Ah. I have the sword here from Lord of the Rings. I'm sure you know which sword this is, right?
Oh, the Ranger sword.
Yeah, baby. But I just don't think, you know, I don't think that they're going to let me bring this on the plane. So I would bring it, and I would bring it. I would bring that for you right there. You know what I mean? But I can't bring it on the plane. If I could bring this on the plane, I would definitely bring the sword and hold the sword down and everything else.
That's a pretty sharp knife.
It is sharp. This fucking ain't no bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
This shit ain't no bullshit. But I would bring this motherfucker with me if I could bring it up there. You know what I mean? But I couldn't bring it up. But if I could dress up as anything and one thing, I would dress up as Stan Baratheon if I could. But if I couldn't do that, I would do Robb Stark with the wolf head on me. I put the wolf head on me and I be Robb Stark as the King of the North. I think that'd be a great costume. That's a costume I would like to do if I could do anything. But you know what it is. When you see the king coming after you, this sort of fuck somebody up, bro. This sort of stab your ass. But AU, sign off, then I'll do my sign off.
Well, I want to say thanks for everything, all you guys watching. I definitely want to thank Tony. It's been the long awaited. I'm really appreciative of all the time he's put into coming on and talking with me, and look forward to doing it again sometime. That's a steak knife right there.
The dagger. The dagger.
Yeah, it's built in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, it's real nice.
Well, again, thanks for watching, everybody, and hope you enjoyed it. And I know I did. Looking forward to seeing some stuff from Con of Thrones.
No doubt. So everybody up here in the chat, thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming over from AU Packmule's channel over to this channel. Please check out Donna Bison Fire at this and check his live stream. There's a bunch of YouTubers doing live streams like the Aurorist, and I've seen the Aurorist do it. I've seen Smokescreen doing it now. I see Gray Area, the Golden Company. Check all those people out. Check out Sir Hunt's reviews. Check out Geek. I keep calling her Geek Fuel, but that is not her name.
Because Geek.
Because Geek. Goddamn it! Check out Because Geek. Check out all these people. Listen, it's not easy making videos, people. It really isn't. And please show people from the Small Council, James Johnson, who down on all, show Charlie Westeros, show us some love. Show everyone some love, and if you can, please go to Bar's channel and show her some love. She may need it right now. And if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, please spread this across the realm, and please subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace! And stay sexy.